You're in Braves country.
Like me, you can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and flat out deceived.
Why did you get so drunk?
You got drunk. I'm just really exhausted.
What's in that cup?
Rum and Cokes?
Do you have any idea how important this is? We're trying to save the pub bowl. Really? This is what you're doing? This is what you're doing?
Baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it, the fact that that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win.
And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone.
Ground ball stabbed by Polk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball world championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same three criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's inside. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry,
Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing-eye single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep. down the right field line. It's going back, back, back. Is it fair? Is it zip, boom, bam, it's gone! Ram-a-lam, ding dong, a 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-run lead. A banger, and she's gone, baby.
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America you get in a ballpark. And it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
Swung line drive left field. 1 run is in. Here comes Breen. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe.
You're in Braves country. If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is. We're down to 1 strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first, and here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We direct your attention now to home plate.
Please remain standing. We call your attention to our bands here today. They will be jointly directed. And now, another fixture. Our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose what stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we once were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Play ball!
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to introduce today's teams as participants in this historic game.
You're in Braves country.
afternoon, Braves country. Hope y'all are having a good Friday lunch edition here on Braves country today. Couple things want to go over real quick, just in case you missed the post game last night. The Braves won a big game last night, 5-4. That's number one. And the walk-off hit by Drake Baldwin was a big one. I mean, you got to love everything as the when you look at the big picture here on this. The Braves go out and they win a game that probably could have went a number of different ways that were honestly, it could have went a lot worse. And those trying to invite to jump on TikTok realize we're doing this on radio and on YouTube, so I can't really have one person come in on one outlet and talk because no one's going to know what in the world you're talking about on the radio stations and on our YouTube feed. But anyways, back to the rest of the story. When we got the blown save by Raisel Iglesias, and once again, I don't think this is panic button time with Iglesias. Closers go out and they have bad outings, I should say. And he had a hanging slider, and look, he's looked pretty darn good this year. The one thing I will say is that last year we got spoiled because he was absolutely positively lights out. And he was in a groove. And when closers get in those types of grooves, you get a little spoiled and you're shocked when they blow a save here and there because you just can't believe that it's possible. And so the first thing someone says is, oh, he's done. He's cooked. We got to get a new closer. We got to do this. We got to do that. None of that's true. If you were going to panic, you would have panicked when Chris Sale looked like hell the first couple of weeks in the Major League Baseball season. He's starting to come into form. Schwellenbach is starting to come into form. You got to love all of that. You got to love the fact that not only on top of that, with Schwellenbach coming into form last night, and I thought he pitched pretty well. One of his better starts. You had Chris Sale, who the last few starts out has pitched absolutely outstanding. He goes on Sunday, by the way, in this series. And then on top of that, you're going to have a situation where the Braves are coming into this series against Pittsburgh. We'll get more into it in a second. But realize this is a dicey situation because our two weakest links in our pitching staff right now are pitching in this series, the first two games. You got Bryce Elder going tonight, and then tomorrow you have A.J. Smith-Shawver. And though both have pitched well in the last couple of starts, there's something to be said for the fact that there's inconsistency in Elder and just flat-out inexperience in A.J. Smith-Shawver. So you don't really know what you're going to get. You hope for the best. But when it's all said and done, you're going into a series, and though Pittsburgh is not playing good baseball, they just fired their manager. And I talked about this last night, but that concerns the hell out of me because usually when a team fires their manager, the first couple of games that they come off of that, they usually play pretty well because there's like a rejuvenation. Even if it's not a brand new guy being brought in, there is a rejuvenation. And so we're probably going to get Pittsburgh's best effort these next few games. And so what you're hoping is that Elder goes out and pitches the way he has recently and gets you through 5 innings of, we'll say, 2-run ball. I'm not expecting a quality start. I'm not expecting 6 innings, but you would love 6 innings and 2-run ball. But I would take 5 and 2 over 6 and 3. The Drake hit last night was great. Nobody's talking about that throw that he made. And he's been pretty good behind the plate. He's been very impressive. In the last year, it's leaps and bounds. Last year when he was in the minor leagues, all we heard about at the start of the season was that this kid could hit, but he still had a lot of work to do behind the plate. And the maturation process of him being behind the plate has been phenomenal. So I'm really excited to see what the future holds for Drake. He's he's still a young kid. And I love you now understand why the Braves were willing to give up Darno, because A, it was going to save them money, but B, everything being equal, you'd rather have a younger guy as in the fold of the duo behind home plate, and he's a left-handed bat. And though Darno is missed in the clubhouse, he was showing signs of age, and there's nothing you could do about it as far as even if you wanted to move on, you want to say, well, we can make Travis Darno work with Baldwin. You couldn't really do that because you locked yourself into a 6-year deal with Sean Murphy a couple of years ago. So you have to deal with that, and he didn't have a great year last year, so it made it impossible to even think about trading Sean Murphy. And I don't think they had any interest in trading him to begin with, but if you're thinking along that process, that's where the Braves are at. And we just saw a team with the Reds that carried 3 catchers on their roster, but that's very rare. And also remember, Austin Wynns can play outfield. So you don't want 3 catchers on your roster that can only catch, and that's essentially where you're at now. Travis Darno years and years ago played outfield, but he can't do it anymore. Sean Murphy and Drake Baldwin are not outfielders. See, the idea to have 3 catchers is kind of goofy, to be honest with you. So you understand why they did what they did, but the Braves, just to put a cap on that Cincinnati series, they take 3 of 4. The Drake walk-off is going to be what everybody comes away with. But once again, his defense behind the plate was extremely, extremely impressive. And then what about Scott Blewett, Scotty B, as I like to call him? Because I'm not going to sit there and make fun of one of our players and call him Blewett. You know, Bummer's a little different because it's a little more of a much more common of a last name. But Scotty B, to me, his 2 innings of shutout ball with the ghost runner on. He didn't just come in and shut down the Reds we'll say in the 6th and 7th inning. He did this both in extra innings where they were given, first of all, one of the innings, the ghost runner was Ellie De La Cruz, and we know he could fly. So Scotty B should just be praised. And let's not forget the throw that Matt Olson made over to third on the attempt to move the runner over. He charged the ball, spun and fired an absolute gem to third to get the runner. And so it was, all in all, when it's all said and done, it was an incredible defensive performance. And the Braves did score 5 runs. It's not like that the offense didn't do anything. You would like to see a little more consistency from the offense during the first 9, especially the difference between this Braves team and others Braves team that I've seen so far is we'll just take 2023 as an example where they broke so many records offensively. And that was just a dream season offensively. But we rarely jump out to the early lead. And I'm talking about putting a crooked number on the board. I'm not talking about scratching out a run in the first 3 innings. We're rarely getting out to that 2, 3, even 4-run lead. So there's been a lot of pressure put on the bullpen. A lot of pressure put on the bullpen. But Scott Blewett, Scotty B, goes out and throws 2 great innings. This is after Iglesias had blown the save, and then the Braves scratched back in the bottom of the 9th and scored 2. Big hit by Harris again. You know, I did want to bring something up. They were, the other day, I guess the article actually dropped yesterday morning. Maybe it was overnight. But regardless, they were absolutely torching Michael Harris II on his recent, on basically saying that his 8-year, $72 million deal has been a huge disappointment. And I'm not going to argue that it hasn't been. But it's really odd that he goes out and drops that article when Michael Harris, counting last night, over his last 19 games, he's batting .273. He's got 5 doubles, 16 RBI, and 6 runs scored with 5 stolen bases. So it's not like he's been chopped liver offensively. And if you go back and dive into the numbers, we don't have time to do it today, but he's been much more productive when he's been in that middle to bottom part of the lineup. When they put him up to the top, I know I talk about this all the time, he's not a leadoff hitter, and he puts undue pressure on himself at the top of the lineup, and I don't think it's fair. They need to knock it off. If you want to give Verdugo, let's say if you want to give Verdugo the night off tonight, put Eli White at the top. Don't mess with Michael Harris because he's going to come into his zone just like we saw last season. We're assuming Acuna is going to be back in the next few weeks. And at that point, we know Ronald Acuna Jr. is going to go slotted right into the leadoff position. There's no reason to mess with Michael. One of the things he likes to do, and I think this is just a great sign for a young player, because you don't hear a lot of young players talk about this, because normally, even if they're doing it, they don't tend to reveal that they're doing it. But he constantly talks about how early in the game, he goes to the guys like, we'll just take Verdugo, for example, who's leading off. He'll go to him and say, what are you seeing? Because they're both left-handed hitters. And he gets an opportunity to pick his brain, a veteran, and say, this is how he's pitching me, this is what I'm seeing, this is the release that I'm seeing. And he can relate to that because it's 2 left-handed guys out there, 2 left-handed bats. I'm sure he does it to a degree with Olsen, but the difference between Olsen and Verdugo is Olsen's up there, man. When he's up there, he's shooting for the downs. Whereas Verdugo's trying to move the line, and that's exactly what Harris is trying to do. Not saying either one of them don't have any power, but their role and Olsen's role are 1,000% difference. And then, of course, when he goes to Ozzie, Ozzie says, I don't know, man. I swung at the first pitch I saw. All right. Strider is supposed to throw a bullpen session tomorrow. And after that, they're going to make a decision whether or not he's going to have a rehab start. We probably won't get the indication tomorrow. It's most likely that we'll hear about it on Sunday or Monday. So hopefully by the time we do the next series preview, which will be Monday for the Washington series, as the Braves will come back home after a 3-game series in Pittsburgh, we'll get an indication on whether or not he has to do a rehab assignment. If he does have to do a rehab assignment, that would probably happen early next week. And so then when you look at the calendar and you see if he does, then he would probably come back into the fold most likely during the San Diego series, May 23rd to the 25th. If it's later in the week, then he's going to come in and pitch against Philadelphia. I would honestly prefer to see him try to just work out some kinks against Washington at home, a little less pressure and a less dynamic offense that he's going to go up against. Because if you wait until the series against San Diego or the series against Philadelphia, you're talking about 2 much more dynamic offenses than what you're going to face at home against Washington. And so looking at the game, the series for the Pirates series that begins tonight, remember it's an early first pitch, y'all. It's a 6:40 first pitch. So we'll come on the air on YouTube at about 6 p.m. It's Elder versus Bailey Falter, and then Heaney versus A.J. Smith-Shawver. And then after that, you're going to have the matchup of, on Sunday, it'll be Chris Sale versus Malinsky. We have a huge advantage in that one. He's coming in 1-3 with the 6.16 ERA. And we know that we've seen Sale play very well recently. And his last 3 to 4 starts have been much better than the beginning of the season. So I would expect him to go out and shove on Sunday. The A.J. Smith-Shawver versus Heaney, that's a tough one. Heaney has pitched pretty well. He's going to come into you can't pay attention to the record because Pittsburgh hasn't been scoring a lot of runs and their bullpen has been falling apart. But you have to look at the actual pitching matchup. That's a 4.05 first pitch on Saturday, by the way. Heaney comes in with a 3.18 ERA. Now, Bailey Falter, we have seen him a ton because, remember, he started off with the Philadelphia Phillies. But Bailey Falter comes into tonight, 1-3 at the 5.06 ERA. He's going up against Elder. Elder has looked much better recently. That is not an understatement at all. He has been, to me, a guy who's pitched well, but let's not all of a sudden say that he's back to the 2023 All-Star Bryce Elder. But I think what he's learning how to do is that if he's not getting the swing and misses, which he's not really a strikeout pitcher, if he's not getting the swing and misses, he's not placing his sinker, his slider has been so much better the last 3 starts that we've seen Bryce Elder here. Now, if you want to look at the starter for tonight, Bailey Falter, his last outing, he got pummeled, but he was in L.A. facing the Dodgers. He went 4 innings, 5 earned runs. April 22nd, at the Angels, 4 innings, 3 earned runs. Excuse me, he did have a start since that Dodger series, and that was against San Diego, and he actually pitched pretty well. That's against the Padres, too. That was on May 3rd. He went 7 innings, 1 earned run, and that was a solo shot. 6 strikeouts. The one that jumps out at me with the Dodgers is he didn't have many strikeouts, not a lot of swing and misses, and they were putting the bat on the ball. But all in all, Falter has had a couple pop-up really good starts. Back on April 16th against Washington, 7 innings, shutout ball. The other starts, he tends to give up the crooked numbers. He's given up 7, 3, 3, 5. And then, of course, the 2 outliers are at home against Washington and at home against San Diego. What I'm seeing is the biggest trend there outside of the Yankee outing where I was actually watching that game. He got hit pretty hard early, and it just seemed like that they left him out there to take one for the team, so to speak. But he's pitched much better at home than he has on the road this year. And so he's at home. So what are we going to get? Bailey Falter, we've usually had pretty good success against him. But like I said, it's not a given that he's going to go up there and just throw a bunch of tomato cans up there and the Braves are going to wail away. Plus, the other thing that's been an underlying factor for the Braves for the last few years is during the Brian Snitker era, 2 things have been very true about the Braves coming out flat. A, the middle of the week day game, and B, usually the first game of a road series. And I know this is just a 3-game series, but the first game of a road series, the offense is usually pretty flat. They come in. Now, you can attribute that to a million things. I'm not putting that on Snitker. I'm just saying that since he's been around, you see this pretty regularly. So don't be surprised if Bailey Falter, first time, maybe even second time through the lineup, looks like Cy Young, and then the Braves make their adjustments and go at him. I'm hoping we don't get the early type of Brave stuff where you see them give up base hits on the starting pitcher end, fall behind a little bit on the scoreboard, and then they're just out there just swinging away, and it's almost like they can't wait to get back to the hotel and get to sleep. You're going to come into today where the Braves are – they're coming into tonight, and look, I know it was disappointing the other day when we were a game under 500 and we lost. It set us back again. But once again, we're a game under 500, third in the National League East. We'll get into the standings here in a second. But all in all, 18-19 after that horrific start of 0-7. I don't hate any of that. The fact that we've played that well, and I get it, the schedule has been much kinder to us in the last few weeks. But we had a gauntlet that we went through to start off the first the first 2 weeks of the season, where we played at San Diego, at the Dodgers, and then when we did come home, one of the games against the Marlins gets rained out, which you hate that. So we split that series. We couldn't win it. And then we took care of the Phillies best 2 out of 3. But that is a gauntlet to start your season on, where you don't have any of the low-rank guys sprinkled in. Now's where it's starting to even up a little bit. We took 3 or 4 from the Reds, and though the Reds are playing around 500 ball, their roster is not one that's going to blow you away. Now we have 3 at Pittsburgh, and then after that, 4 at home against Washington, and then we go out for a 6-game road trip to Boston and Washington before we come home for just a 3-game homestand. Just like this 3-game road series, we come in with a 3-game homestand to face San Diego. And honestly, this part of the schedule is where we need to take advantage. We need to build momentum, get some wins, because the tail end of this month, you're going to have 3 at Philly. You go in and then 3 at home against, first 3 at home against San Diego, then 3 at Philly, then 3 at home against Boston. And as you roll in to next month, you're going to have 3 more at home against Arizona. That's a pretty tough slate before we go back out on the road, which is the second to last West Coast trip that we have. 3 at San Francisco, and then we move back towards the east and go to Milwaukee. So we don't have one good thing about this. We no longer have the rest of the season. We don't have that 6-game chunk where we are on the West Coast, starting games at 9, 10 o'clock at night. We have 3 more in San Francisco, and then in July, just before the All-Star break, we have 3 at the Athletics, formerly of Oakland. Now they play in Sacramento. So looking at the way the schedule is going to unfold, and I like the Braves' chances to put up a good one tonight, just as long as the offense isn't giving it bats away. Go up there, come prepared, and take good approaches. Saturday's game is the most concerning to me of the entire series, because even though A.J. Smith-Shawver's pitched very, 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 very well, Heaney is their best pitcher in this series. And then Sunday feels like you better win game, meaning you don't leave a game when you're going against Molotsky, the 6+ ERA. You don't leave that W on the table when you have Chris Sale going. And, of course, that is Mother's Day. We will be doing the Mother's Day cast, and we will have every game this year. The only one it looks like that we're going to miss is the series just before the All-Star game. That's when I'm moving to North Carolina, and so we're going to dip away for a few days going into the All-Star game, and then those of y'all who are going to the All-Star game festivities, I'll see you that weekend for should be a really fun weekend. Looking forward to that. We're going to meet up somewhere on that Sunday ball game. It's a mid-afternoon. I think it's a 2 o'clock afternoon. We're going to meet up somewhere and try to catch at least the last half, if not the very beginning. My goal is to get there for the very beginning of the Cardinals-Braves game, which takes us into the All-Star break. Let's see if I have anything else left here on these news and notes. Standings real quick. Let me go ahead and hit that, because I know that a lot of folks get into the grind of not just the season, but your everyday work and family life. You don't have time to look at the standings. Right now, we are sitting 5.5 games back on New York. So last time that we did this, we have gained a little bit of ground. We were 6.5 the last time we took a look at this. We're 4 games behind Philadelphia. Philadelphia went out there and took care of the Rays again, and they've won 8 of their last 10. The Mets have won 5 of their last 10 as their schedule's starting to get a little more difficult, and the Braves have won 6 of their last 10. So right now, I'll take it, considering that terrible start. You just think about that 0-7 start. Had we just won 2 of those games, we would be sitting 3.5 behind the Mets and 2 behind the Phillies. Just 2 of this. We just went 2-5. And we talked about this at the beginning of the year. One of the first things that I said was, man, I really wish to hell if we could just get 2 wins on this series, because it's going to be so tough coming out of the spring training going right into this. 3-4 would have been phenomenal, and 4-3 would have been very unrealistic. But to go 0-7 just really threw you for a loop. So that's where we're at in the division standings as far as the wild card standings. And it's never too early to look at the wild card standings when you start off 0-7. The Braves right now in the wild card standings are 4 games behind Philly, once again, who has, excuse me, the final wild card spot. So we've lost a little ground there, but San Diego and San Francisco, who have the next 2 spots over Philadelphia in the wild card spot, we're only 5.5 behind them. And so we've stayed right there. The teams that are in front of us that we're looking at, we're tied with Cincinnati. And then Milwaukee's a half game in front. St. Louis is a half game in front. And Arizona is a game and a half in front of us. So we're right there with all of them. We just continue to play good baseball. We'll find our way back up there. And sooner than later, I think the Braves will be right there in the mix for the final wild card spot, and maybe even a little higher as we head towards the All-Star break. So that's where you have that. And as far as run differential, we have the worst run differential in the league. It's because of our offense. But we are, in the very beginning of the season, our pitching was terrible, but it's really picked up. We have a -1 differential. Everyone in front of us has a huge run differential in the positive. The Braves pitching has picked up. It's been very good recently. And I believe that the starting pitching is only going to get better. You got Strider hopefully coming back within the next week or so. You're going to have some decisions to make with what you want to do with like an A.J. Smith-Shawver. Do you want to slide Grant Holmes into the bullpen eventually? They'll probably wait a little while before they do that. And Craig Kimbrell is eventually going to come up. They've been really quiet about that, but he should be making his way up for the big club, because he was pitching pretty well. I haven't checked his stats in a few days. I want to double check real quick, make sure that he hasn't getting rocked. But they've been extremely quiet about him recently. Let me see if we got anything on him. See. There's been nothing of. It's all just speculation. So everybody wants to know what's going on with Kimbrell. Honestly, here we go. 2 nights ago, Kimbrell earned his first win and pitched well once again. Now, one thing to be said about Kimbrell, he is 36 years old. So when he does come up, don't expect the moon and stars. He just had a birthday. Don't expect the moon and the stars, but looking at it right now, Kimbrell should be somewhere getting very, very close. And remember, he's got 440 saves all time. So in a pinch, not just with a struggle, but if you just want to give Iglesias the night off, you can go in there and send Kimbrell in. He's got plenty of experience there, obviously. So hopefully he will be doing something in the near future. You don't expect to see him in this Pittsburgh series because they're traveling, but you never know. But looking at it right now, this was back on May 7th. He'd gone 8 2/3, 2.08 ERA, 3 hits allowed in those 8 2/3 with 10 strikeouts at a .92 whip. And his fastball is averaging around 94, 95 miles an hour. So if not now, when? I'm thinking more likely it would come in the homestand against Washington. But I also feel like there's a game being played with the Braves of they're trying to get to that next off day on May 19th. And if they believe that they can get through it and then bring up Kimbrel, that's a possibility. Because what they keep waiting on is that 1 or 2 games back-to-back, and it could happen when you have an Elder and a Shawver pitching back-to-back. But those couple of games go back-to-back where it just wears the hell out of your bullpen and there's no day off at site. With that being said, the one thing that I wanted to bring up, this team needs a laugher or two in the next week or so. Meaning we need a couple of games where the offense wakes up and makes it so easy on the bullpen that they don't have to worry about these tight games. You look at Sunday, it was 4-3. Monday, 4-0. It never felt like the game was in hand. Even in the ninth inning, if you remember, they got Iglesias up and warming up, even though they won 4-0. And then in the second game of the series, they win in extra innings 2-1. The third game of the series, they lose a tight one 4-3. And then last night in extra innings, this time they go 11, they win by a run. But the point is, they're putting a lot of innings on this bullpen, even though your starters are going deep into the game. So we need a laugher. We need at least one laugher this weekend, hopefully on the positive side, but a game where the Braves just blow out the opponent so you can reset your bullpen. And you'd like to see one in the Washington series when you got 4 at home against Washington. You'd like to see at least one laugher. I'm talking about 5-6 run win where you're never even thinking about getting Iglesias up, or you're never even think about getting some of the other back end guys up, so you can just give them days off. All right, that's going to about do it for us. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us on a Friday. Remember, once again, early game, 6:40. So if you're not normally home in time, just go ahead and sneak that earbud in as you're hiding in your cubicle and pretending like you're typing away. But 6:40 first pitch, and we'll come on the air about 6 o'clock to get you ready pregame. Braves, Pirates, 3-game set, 6:40, 4:05 on Saturday, and 1:35 on Sunday. All right, y'all, let's see if there's any questions over here in the chat here on YouTube. Let's see. I don't really see any comments. I think y'all are just chatting away like y'all usually do, talking about life. All right, y'all have a great one. Appreciate everyone tuning in. And on YouTube, please subscribe. And if you're over on TikTok, please subscribe. We're going to be doing these very often. And assuming that the game ends, they don't have a long rain delay or something like that, that the game ends at a decent time, we are doing a post-game show tonight. We will not be doing one on Saturday, and we're playing it by ear on Mother's Day because it's Mother's Day. Y'all have a good
All right, you guys, let's listen up. We won a game yesterday. And if we win one today, that's 2 in a row. We win one tomorrow, that's called a winning streak. It has happened before. So let's see some hustle. Let's jack it up a little. I got a feeling things are about to turn around for us.
Pound of beer? 7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live as the Braves are on the road. We're set to bring you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac McGee. Here's your starting lineups for today's action. Leading off and playing second base for your Atlanta Braves, Ozzie Albies, batting .233, 5 home runs, 15 RBI, 5 stolen bases. Austin Riley, batting second, playing third, 8 home runs, 25 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .286. Batting third, the designated hitter, Marcell Ozuna, 6 home runs, 20 RBI, batting .229. Batting cleanup, and at first base, Matt Olson, 6 home runs, 20 RBI, batting .229. Eli White batting fifth and in left field, 2 home runs, 9 RBI, batting .304 with 3 stolen bases. Batting sixth, behind home plate, it's Sean Murphy, 7 home runs, 22 RBI, batting .225. Batting seventh and in center field, Michael Harris II, 3 home runs, 22 RBI, 7 stolen bases, batting .229. Stuart Fairchild is batting eighth and in right field, batting .048 with 1 for 21 on the year, 1 stolen base. Nick Allen is at shortstop and batting ninth, 7 RBI, 5 stolen bases, batting .247. On the mound for your Atlanta Braves, it's Bryce Elder Day. He's 2-1 with a .506 ERA, 1.38 WHIP, 32 innings, 22 strikeouts, 32 hits, 12 walks, 6 home runs served. He'll be going head-to-head with Bailey Falter, who is 1-3 with a .506 ERA, a 1.21 WHIP, 37 innings, 28 strikeouts, 34 hits, 11 walks, 6 home runs served. Leading off and playing center field for the Pittsburgh Pirates, it's O'Neal Cruz, 8 home runs, 18 RBI, 15 stolen bases, batting .246. Batting second, playing right, Brian Reynolds, a .219 average with 3 stolen bases, 19 RBI, 5 home runs. The designated hitter, batting third, Andrew McCutchen, 3 home runs, 12 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .257. Bart is behind home plate and batting cleanup. Joey has 1 home run, 7 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .264. Hayes is at third, batting fifth, 1 home run, 14 RBI, 3 stolen bases, batting .254. Gorski is at first base and batting sixth. He has a .211 average, a home run, and an RBI. Frazier is at second, batting seventh, 2 home runs, 10 RBI, 3 stolen bases, batting .229. Tommy Pham in left field and batting eighth, a .183 average, 6 RBI, 3 stolen bases. Triolo batting ninth and playing short, a .140 clip with 1 RBI, 2 stolen bases. Calling balls and strikes behind home plate tonight, it's Dan Bellino. Your first base umpire, Clint Vondrick. Tony Randazzo is manning second base, and down the third base line is Jacob Metz. Just a couple series ago, we had this same umpire crew, and they were very frustrating. Inconsistent calls. Vondrick is the worst one of the bunch. He'll go tomorrow. Randazzo not too far behind. Bellino's not great, but enjoy the ride tonight because it only gets worse from here. Our pick to click tonight, well, we're not going with Ozzie. I can tell you right now, Eli White should be leading off. He's got a much higher batting average, and Ozzie's 1 for 8 versus Bailey Falter. He might get lucky. We're not going with him. Let's go with Marcell Ozuna. This man is 5 for 10 lifetime versus tonight's starting pitcher. A .500 average with an RBI. A couple guys to keep an eye on. Olson's 3 for 9 with the home run. Michael Harris II is 4 for 9 with the home run. But we'll stick with the Big Zoo. He is due. Is he not well overdue? And we wish Ozzie well. I just don't understand bringing him up from the bottom of the lineup when you could have just slid Eli White, giving Verdugo the night off because of the left-hander. That part is understood. Come on. What are we doing? Keys to the game tonight. It's going to be all about Bryce Elder. Does he have another good start like he's had the past couple of starts? Or does he revert back to his old self? If Bryce Elder can go out there and pitch like we've seen him pitch the last 3 starts, We got some belief in him. He gave up 1 run against St. Louis, went 6. He gave up 3, but it was in Colorado, and he went 6. And then if you remember, that was in that very first inning. After that first inning home run, he shut it down. And then he had 5 innings, 2 earned runs against the Dodgers. So all in all, the last 3 starts have been very good. The first 3 starts were rocky as hell. It was a total of 15 innings, 12 earned runs. So do we get Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde? We're banking on Bryce to put up another good start. And we'll take your Atlanta Braves to put a few on the board. We'll even take Ozzie to get into the mix. Give me your Atlanta Braves to win this one 7-2. Put your click in the chat, slap that like, and let's get ready, Braves Country. We'd like to thank everybody for choosing Braves Country Radio, and a special thanks to all the country club members. Please like on your way in and subscribe, set those alerts, and share Braves Country Radio to help build the crowd so we can continue to bring you the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. Atlanta Braves Baseball right here on Braves Country Radio. Your modern-day superstation is in its 5th season of bringing you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves and our one-of-a-kind production. Take us anywhere you go for over 170 Atlanta Braves ball games. Please like and subscribe today. Join the Country Club. Thank you to all the Country Club members. You help support Braves Country Radio.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call! Yeah! Roll call!
You're in Braves country.
Good evening, Braves Country. I see Chris Townsend. Good to see you, CT. Daniel Berry. Uncle Charlie Fritz. Kay is in the chat. Justin Green, the Green Machine. David M. Yelmy. Nathaniel Brooks. Jameson. Edward Spry. Cal-El. Who else do we have here in the early going? Colby Covers. John. Pushing Buttons. Helion. Mark Ricky Ricardo. Stargazer. Gary the Real McCoy. Neil the Real Deal Pearson. Tim Powell in the chat tonight. Who else do we have here? Looks like that's it. We're going to take a really quick break. Got a couple of clips I want to play for you. One from the Drake and one from Snicker. We'll be back in a flash. Hey, Braves Country, Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. America's patriotic light lager, all natural ingredients. Stand tall, be proud. The perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. America's patriotic light lager, offering a crisp, clean, bold taste. Perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. A beer with only 110 calories that tastes like a full-flavored beer and celebrates like freedom. Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac McGee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Join the Country Club today. Help support Braves Country Radio. Join the Country Club today. It helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Hey, Braves Country, Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. From the mountains to the prairies to your pint glass with white foam, we're bringing back beer with a backbone. All that matters in our brew is taste and a touch of American excellence. American Rebel Beer, born in the USA.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin from the radio news.
Sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. There is nothing wrong. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both things and ideas. You've just crossed over into
Adventures in Time and Space.
We offer you Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Hi, folks. Join us now for another Braves ball game. Yes, sir. This is the one we've been waiting for. This is it. This makes you feel like it's spring and baseball. No more measles and free tickets to the circus.
You're in Braves Country.
This is a reminder, disorderly conduct will not be tolerated. Please respect your fellow fan and refrain from any unruly behavior. Failure to comply with these guidelines will result in ejection.
All right, y'all, real quick, let's go ahead and hit these up. This is the Drake right after the game last night. Drake Baldwin on his game-winning hit.
Are you feeling more comfortable now?
Yeah, I mean, that definitely helps. I mean, even it being the second at-bat of the game, you just get into it a little bit more, and getting behind the plate, you just feel in the flow of the game, and you feel the crowd, and that was awesome, yeah.
Rogers fed you a lot of sweepers. How'd you stay ready for the fastball?
I mean, he's good. It's a big difference, between the sweeper and the heater away. So, I mean, just kind of trying to stay on the heater as much as you can, and then not trying to chase the sweeper away, and try to just get a bat on it, and then left one over the middle and got it through the infield.
You guys navigated through a couple of scoreless innings there in extras. This infield defense hasn't made an error in a couple of weeks. I mean, how important are those guys to keeping zeros on the board?
I mean, that play by Olsen was incredible. They bunted it, and it felt like he had it right away. It was awesome getting that out at third. Blew it was incredible there. Stranding 2 runners on second was huge for us. And I mean, I don't know if we're winning that game if he's not doing that.
Drake, what happens to the double bubble helmet?
I don't know. I just took it off, but I don't even know who put it on me. But I left it on for a little bit, and I don't know. I'm fine with the double bubble helmet after a win like that.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, Drake.
Thank you.
For those of y'all who might have missed that, they put the bubble gum dispenser on top of his head, and we're going to switch the screen right here, getting ready for first pitch. But while we do that, we're going to go ahead and play you Brian Snicker postgame.
No, it's great. Yeah, I mean, he helped us win the game, or he won the game for us. That guy's really fast. Got rid of that ball really good. Ozzie made a great tag, and he gets a big hit. It's a pretty good night for not starting it.
On that topic, I mean, you guys use the entire bench, 5 out of 8 relievers. Does a win with this many guys contributing carry a little more weight on it?
Yeah, it's huge that you don't expend all that energy and not get a win out of it. Games like that can really set you back. Because you win it, you know, it's obviously a lot better plane ride, but those are tough losses because you expend so much energy trying to win it, and
Speaking of pro-type plays, how about that one by Matt to come and get the bunt and throw out the lead?
Yeah, he was all over him. That's what's nice when you have a first baseman that trusts his arm. I mean, he's got an above-average arm. He's a guy that when we do infield drills on the road, a lot of times we go out and he takes balls at shortstop, and he probably could play short as big as he is. His arm is strong, it's accurate, he trusts it, he's very agile. I mean, that's huge when you don't have a first baseman it's that can do all that. I've been blessed here in my days as a manager. I've had probably two of the best that there are. And that's big play. He's hunting the out right there.
Oftentimes, young guys, just guys like Drake's age, they might try to, literally hit the home run. How impressed are you that he has maturity?
I've been very impressed with his clock and how he's kind of lets the game come to him. I mean, he doesn't try and get out of his skin to do things, and that's kind of been something I've been really impressed with him here. He doesn't get caught up in the moment because it's a big league game, and he stays with his bat, the defense, everything. I've been just really impressed with how he goes about it and his clock.
Scott was close to getting that game a couple of times before he actually got in it for him to give you the 2 scoreless, kind of be on alert, it seemed like.
No, it was awesome. Yeah. I mean, he threw the ball really well, too. My God. That's a tough situation to come into, but, we needed him to do that to save the other guys because we got games to play. We still got 100 games, before we got an off day. But, he's been throwing the ball really well for us, and that's huge. Right there.
You talked about when you guys were the road team, not score in that top half feels like a blow. How big of a momentum shift was that for you guys to get that boost?
No, man. I mean, he did it 2 times in a row, because it's like, it didn't come out. You don't come out on top that much. So it's huge to shut that down and because you do it on the road, it's tough to shut the other team down, like you say. So that's guys kept after it tonight, man. They just kept playing, and it took all of us, obviously, the whole group.
It seemed like a big bounce back night for Spencer. What'd you think from him out there?
Oh, yeah, no, I thought and you're right, it was. It was a really good outing he needed that. He looked like his old self again, and you're going to go through spells like that. I mean, this game's not easy, and it doesn't always just everything the stars don't line up for you all the time. So I loved how he started out great. He had a couple of, his last one, he went 3 2/3, I think, and 90-some pitches, and now he goes through 6 innings. That's awesome how he bounced back and had confidence in himself to do that.
Big moments in big spots.
No, Michael's, Michael's working through what he's been going on, and he's, studying and working and doing extra, and he's a super talented guy. This is baseball. It's a hard game. As long as these guys can stay believing in themselves and just keep working through it, then you know what, they're going to come out on top because he's too talented not to.
So there you have that. We're just about set for pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves. Going to play a quick commercial and get reset, and let's get it. Hey, Braves Country, Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. From the mountains to the prairies to your pint glass with white foam, we're bringing back beer with a backbone. All that matters in our brew is taste and a touch of American excellence. American Rebel Beer, born in the USA. Hey, Braves Country, Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. America's patriotic light lager, all natural ingredients. Stand tall, be proud. The perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. America's patriotic light lager, offering a crisp, clean, bold taste. Perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. A beer with only 110 calories that tastes like a full-flavored beer and celebrates like freedom. Good evening, Braves country. As we get set here, gonna get you ready for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Pittsburgh is wearing their, I don't know if this is City Connect or not, but it's a yellow top with PGH. I believe this is their City Connect. Across the chest, black pants, yellow stripes, yellow ball cap, black bill with the black P. Braves are wearing their classic road grays. We're getting ready for the 3D to kick in, so give us a moment on that. Believe we have it. So let's go ahead and take you to the field. Ozzie Albies will lead us off. Braves wearing those classic road grays with laying across the chest in red, outlined in navy. Same thing with the tomahawk. Red piping down the middle of the shirt and on the sides of the pants. Gray shirt, gray pants, top to bottom. We'll be rocking a blue ball cap with the white A representing the city of Atlanta when we hit the field. Meanwhile, their batting helmets will reflect the same. And Bailey Falter's firing his last few warm-up pitches. A little bit of slow to get started here. Not sure what the delay is, but nonetheless, it's just about ready. We are just about set. Ozzie Albies digs in. Falter, the southpaw, begins his windup, and yes, sir, it is baseball time in Braves country. First pitch on the way is a fastball inside. It's 1-0. Ozzie from the right side of the plate, open stance, lefty-righty matchup, batting .233, the 1-0. Swing, rifles it back foul, 1-1. 1-1 count. What you can expect from Falter is a 5-pitch mix. He'll lean on that four-seamer and slider quite a bit. They'll come in at 61%. The 1-1 from Falter. Swung, pops it up, can of corn. Easy out. F3 in your scorecard, one away. Talked about it in the pregame, but truly is dumbfounding that they put Ozzie at lead off. I honestly think it's a lazy way of filling out the lineup because they've always done that. When there's been an injury and whatnot and they need a left-handed starter, I just think it's a lazy way of thinking. You sit down and actually open it up and realize what these guys are giving to you every day. Is the first pitch on the way to Riley's rifled deep into the night, but just foul. Man, did he smoke that one. It's 0-1. But when you realize what they bring to the plate, to these at-bats, Eli White should be batting leadoff, and it's not even close. The 0-1 to Riley. Inside. 1-1. The other thing is you take Ozzie's bat out from the middle of the lineup where you could put him behind Smurf at the number 6 spot in between Smurf and Harris. Is the 1-1 to Riley. Swing. That ball's belted. Another hanger. Another one into the night. And another one foul. If he can get one of those to stay straight, we're going to have a 1-0 lead. But they don't email me about their lineups. Either that or it's going to spam. So here we are. The 1-2. 92 up top. Four-seam fastball. 2-2. Braves have seen Bailey Falter over the years. Remember, before he came to Pittsburgh, he was a Philadelphia Philly. He was always in that number 4, number 5 role. The 2-2 from Falter. Brings it. Outside wide, 3-2. The other thing about putting Ozzie on that leadoff spot, he doesn't work the count. So he saw, 2 pitches there? You want your leadoff guy to work the count so that the guys behind him can see what's going on. The payoff pitch, swing, rips it into left field, and that one will get down for a base hit. So 3 hard smacks of the ball, and one of them falls safely to get us a first hit of the game.
You're my boy, Blue! Blue, you're my boy!
Yeah, Ozzie, not only is he not leadoff, he's perfectly fine where he is. I'm not even trying to, kill Ozzie on any of this. What I'm saying is, why are you trying to put a round peg into a square hole? First pitch on the way to Ozuna, 92 up top, it's 1-0. And then just like when they do it to Michael, you really mess with their approach. Ozzie usually gives you pretty good at bats against lefties. Why not put him in the middle of the lineup? Because he's got more power from the right side. The 1-0 to Ozuna. Misses high, 2-0. Not saying you can't win this way, but I'm just saying, why are we making it more difficult? You got a 2-0 count to Marcell Ozuna. He's batting .276 on the year. He's in a mini slump, but he does have 5 home runs. Lefty-righty matchup. The 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss at the slider. Down around his knees. It's 2-1. One thing you got to like about Ozuna, even when he's slumping, he gives you good at bats. He's rarely just gives a bat away. He normally sees 3, 4, 5, 6 pitches, and he'll walk. And I like that in the number 3 hitter. The 2-1 pitch, misses high, 3-1. 3-1 count. Tell you what, if Riley sees Falter two more times, I think he's going to go yard because you might want to jump on the book or whatnot, because he was seeing his pitches extremely well. The 3-1 to the Big Zoo. Outside high, ball 4. So he'll head on down to first, and he'll make it first and second, 1 out. And the Braves offense showing life here in the early going. Lefty-lefty matchup now. Matt Olson, the batter. Falter might have been pitching around Ozuna to set up the double play with the lefty. First pitch right there is a slider off the edge. It's 1-0. Hope y'all are having a great Friday night. Happy weekend to you. Happy TGIF. Appreciate you spending your Friday night here in Braves country. The 1-0. Swing. Golfs it. High in the sky. They're going to have to fight the sun a little bit, but making the catches the shortstop Triolo, 2 down. That sun is coming in about, we'll say 75% of the left field is covered in sun right now. That'll bring Eli White to the plate. See if Eli can scratch across the run. Braves nothing, Pirates nothing. Top of the first, 2 outs, 2 on. Book of Eli stands in. First pitch in the dirt. It's 1-0. Same 2 teams back at it tomorrow. Remember, it's going to be an early start, a 4:05, and then 1:35 on Sunday on Mother's Day. 1-0 count. Falter comes set and brings it. Swing and a miss. 4-seam fastball. It's 1-1. Brings it. Swing and a miss. Curveball in the dirt. It's 1-2. So you got a 1-2 count on Eli. First and second, 2 outs. Falter about to throw his 20th pitch of the inning. So if nothing else, the Braves have made him work. The 1-2. In the dirt, 2-2. Good take by Eli that time. Tried to chase that curveball again. This time he spit on it. Deuces wild here in the top of the first. 2 on, 2 out, a 2-2 count. Standing on deck is Sean Murphy. The 2-2. Swing. Fists it back behind home plate. We'll do it again, 2-2. We'll keep you up to date with all the games going on around Major League Baseball. Cubs and Mets are about to get going here in a second. The 2-2 to Eli. Kicks and fires. Down below the knees. Ball. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Well, Dan Bellino's doing Dan Bellino things. That was a trash call. 3 inches below the knees, and he calls it for strike 3. We had him a couple of weeks ago, and he is not good at his job. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Veganism is the sad result of a morally corrupt mind. Reconsider your life.
Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac McGee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
When I grow up, I want to work for a woke company. When I grow up, I want to be hired based on what I look like rather than my skills.
I want to be judged.
I want to get promoted
based on my chromosomes. When I grow up, I want to be offended by my coworkers and walk around the office
on eggshells
and have my words policed
by HR. Words like
grandfather,
peanut gallery,
long time no see,
no can do.
When I grow up,
I want to be obsessed with emotional safety and do workplace sensitivity training all day long. When I grow up, I want to climb the corporate ladder
just by following the crowd.
I want to be a conformist. I want to weaponize my pronoun. Armchair.
So I was talking to my neighbor because I heard some commotion going on at his house. And I was like, what the hell is going on at your house? He said, girl, I had 2 girls fighting over my ass and I had to call the cops. I was like, damn. He said, yeah, I had to call the cops because the ugly one was winning.
One thing to learn as a parent is get you a swear sock. Every time they you off, you put a couple quarters in it. About the time you fill it up enough, you beat the out of them with it.
We would play ball in the afternoon, and down to the auditorium that night, we would all go down to here to Gellington. That's Fowler, huh? The best in the world. We knew him. You know what I mean? Buddy. We ate together. This was actually an exciting era. Yeah.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. For you country club members, we added the blind dump back into the emojis. That is a terrible call. I mean, look, it's the first pitch on the way to O'Neill Cruz is fouled back. It's 0-1. I don't expect these guys to be perfect, but when you can't set yourself up to make the correct call, just quit your job. Just make it easier on everybody. The 0-1 slider in the dirt, it's 1-1. 1-1 count. Pitch on the way from Elder. Slider misses 2-1. But the ugly truth is you have a manager that sits in the dugout for Atlanta. They know they're not going to hear any bickering, so they kind of run roughshod over them. You always see it happen. You think they're pulling that on an Aaron Boone? Hell no. He's going to come flying out of the dugout. The 2-1 count. Swing, rips it right into right field. Guess it went through the glove of Ozzie Albies. He was there, stuck his glove up. Somehow he got through, and it's a leadoff single for the Pirates. O'Neill Cruz infamously hits the ball about as hard as anyone in the game. That one was rocketed off the bat. Take another look here. I think he just yipped it. He was right in that area. He misplayed. I don't know if the sun played any kind of effect into it. There's sun creeping into the outfield, but you don't know what his look is down the line. First pitch on the way is swung on, banged over to Ozzie. He's going to flip it over to Allen. It's going to be a 6-4-3 rally-killing double play. Just what the doctor ordered there, a slider that gets banged on the dirt. 2 down. Slider was up a little higher than you would like it, but thankfully Reynolds who's not started off the year well, batting just .217, wasn't able to make him pay. First pitch to Andrew McCutchen is a sinker at the knees. It's 0-1. Andrew McCutchen, longtime Pirate. Got a few other stops elsewhere, but he'll always be a Pirate, I believe, in most people's minds. Pitch up top, it's 1-1. Righty-righty matchup, the 1-1. Outside wide. Ball 2-1. 2-1 count. Slider just grabs the edge. Braves nothing, Pirates nothing. The 2-2, 2 outs, pitch, swing, hammers it over towards the left side of the infield. I guess really bad camera work by the Braves, and we're going to assume that Matt Olson was handed the ball from either Riley or Allen. Good night, Irene. Well, here we go again. We'll be back in a flash. He hit the ball, and they decided to follow him up the base paths. It was Riley 5-3. I saw it on the Pittsburgh cam finally.
Hey, I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you owe me money saying I ain't forgot about you, it's not a form of payment.
Let's be realistic. It's about value.
Yeah, and your value is low.
Oh, wow. And how do you know that? You're not
Because
sure
you're 5'4" and 200 pounds.
Okay.
And 37 years old with 2 kids. That's how I know. In Kentucky.
Okay. That's your opinion.
It's not my opinion.
You never seen my body before, so you just
I don't have to see your body. I know you're 5'4" and almost 200 pounds with 2 kids in Kentucky.
Armchair. Is this our vacation?
Yeah,
Oh. Are we trash?
kinda.
Oh.
I was talking to this girl and she said, you know what, I call my the lotto because guys are lucky to hit it. And I turned around and looked at her. I said, I thought you called it that because you're always scratching it.
Great is baseball, the national tonic, the reviver of hope, the restorer of confidence. The Sporting News.
The idea of a baseball game on a sunny spring or summer day is the spontaneity of going. Let's go to the park, you say, at 2 o'clock when the game were played at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's go to the bleachers. And you go and you get a ticket and you sit down. You hadn't thought about it in the morning, but if you were free, say, for one reason or another. And it was the spontaneity of it. And sitting there in the sunshine and watching experts, good, skilled craftsmen, ply their trade.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. Bailey Falter goes to work. Sean Murphy stands in. Curveball down and in. It's 1-0. For those of y'all who are listening on radio don't know what I'm talking about, the producers got to know where to go on that play. The ball was hit on the ground, and he's telling whoever to follow McCutchen, which makes no sense, because the one who's in the dirt is 2-0. They have the different camera angles numbered, and all he has to say is go to 1, go to 2, go to 3, that kind of thing. And it stayed there for a hot minute, so I don't know if they got their wires crossed up or whatever, but that was definitely on the production team. 2-0 count misses. Ball 3-0. Because your cameraman's doing their job. They're just following the play, and it's up to the production room to know which angle to grab. The 3-0 pitch. Misses high, ball 4. So Smurf was a good at bat, mainly because none of those 4 pitches were near the zone. The Braves, by the way, are going to escape Paul Skeens. We won't have to see him in this visit. Michael Harris, the second, comes up. Money Mike, lefty. First pitch, 92 down the track, sinker. It's 0-1. The 0-1 to Michael. Falter brings it. Swing! That ball sliced into left field, but right at the left fielder out there, Tommy Pham. He'll make the catch, one down. F7 in your scorecard. They're really fighting that sun right now. Actually, they must have made a change because that is not Tommy Pham out there. That is Camario, the left fielder. So he will be replaced. If you were listening along for the scorecards earlier, Camario is in left. Pham was in left. They're both hitting 8th, so no change on that. First pitch to Stuart Fairchild is right there for a strike on the outer edge. It's 0-1. The defense for the Pittsburgh Pirates, as you go around the horn here in the infield, the 0-1. Swing, that ball's launched deep into left field, going back, making the catch at the wall. Long out, number 2, 2 away. Fairchild gave that one a ride. High hit ball. Once again, Camario had to fight the sun out there, blasting him right in the face, and he caught it at the wall. So around the horn on the infield for the Pirates, it's Hayes to Triola to Frazier to Gorski, who's playing first. First pitch to Nick Allen is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. In the outfield, it's now Camario, O'Neill Cruz, and Brian Reynolds in right. Bart is behind the plate. 0-1. Swing. Sizzles it foul down the right field line. It's 0-2. When the Braves are on defense, you're going to have Riley to Allen to Ozzie to Olsen. Nothing changes there. Smurf is behind the plate tonight. And Eli is in left, not right, with Fairchild in right, and, of course, Michael in center. No 2 count. Lefty-righty, standing on deck is Ozzie. Here's the pitch. High and out of the zone, 1-2. Nothing else, you'd like to make him work a little bit. He had a long inning in the first inning of the Braves. Such a quick inning. In this frame, he could get right back on track if he gets a quick out here. This will be his 34th pitch. Brings it. Swing, says it's a foul. Do it again. 1-2 count. I think one of my least favorite City Connects is the Detroit Tigers one. It's on, the Tigers game is on in the background. It doesn't even look like the Tigers. Like, I don't even know what the heck it is. The 1-2 pitch. Misses high, 2-2. Good take by Allen. Fastball high and out of the zone. He has Motor City across the chest with blue and black, and okay, I get that. But then the logo, it doesn't have the Detroit logo, it just says Detroit. So when they put it on TV, they use like a tiger emoji. The 2-2, swing, fouls it down the line. PGH stands for Pittsburgh. Colby. 2-2 count. Brings it. Swing, fist that one again. So if nothing else, Allen's running his pitch count up. This will be the 38th about to come to the plate. Braves nothing, Pirates nothing. Top of the second inning. The 2-2. Swing, lifts it into center field, and coming in making the running catch is O'Neill Cruz with ease. Braves go pretty quietly after the leadoff walk. Did run a few pitches up. We head to the bottom of the second. 0-0 here in Pittsburgh.
I started drinking at 6 a.m. and we're here now. I don't know what time it is, but I'm rolling deep, and those cars are going real fast and real left, son. They're going fast and left. Yeah.
Think you can run this school? If you could, then I wouldn't be here, would I? No one talks in my meetings. No one! Mr. Zarella, you are now my new head football coach. Mr. Darnell will be your assistant. You know why you're being demoted, Mr. Darnell? Because I'm sick and tired of our football team getting pushed all over the field. Thank you. Sit down. I want precision. I want a weight program. You've tried it your way for years. They've given me less than 1 year to turn this place around. Forget about the way it used to be. This is not a damn democracy. We are in a state of emergency, and my word is law.
So nothing bad happened? You didn't wreck it? You didn't hit anybody? You didn't run anybody over? You didn't get a speeding ticket? Why are you making that face?
For 3 seasons, even the mighty hitting of Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth could not deny the American League championship to Connie Mack's still mightier Philadelphia Athletic. His newly constituted A's won back-to-back World Series in 1929 and 30, and the pennant in 1931. Mack's finest pitcher was Robert Moses Lefty Grove. He was a savage competitor who sometimes threw at his own teammates in batting practice. The A's hitters rivaled even the Yankees' murderer's row. But the most frightening hitter was first baseman Jimmy Fox, Double X, who hit 58 home runs one season, just 2 short of the record Babe Ruth had been sure would never be broken. He cut off his sleeves to display his massive bicep. Even his hair has muscles, a pitcher complained. Opposing players called him the Beast. Jimmy Fox wasn't scouted, a pitcher said. He was trapped.
Bryce Elder goes back to work here on a Friday night in Pittsburgh. A little bit of a delay for some reason, not exactly sure why. Here's the first pitch to Joey Bart, the hiding catcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates. First pitch on the way. Down below the knees for a ball. It's 1-0. 28-year-old out of Buford, Georgia. Buford. 1-0 swing and miss, 1-1. You might remember him back in 2018. He was the 2nd overall pick out of Georgia Tech by the Giants, and it just never panned out in San Francisco. The 1-1 swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Played with the Giants all the way through 2023, came over to Pittsburgh last year. It's 25 career home runs and a batting average of .238 lifetime. 1-2. You go around, they're going to check down the line. They said he did. All right, we'll take it. Strike 3. Not sure about that one. Got to get a better look on it. Never know if that's a makeup for that terrible call put on Eli White on the caught looking. One down. That'll bring Cabrian Hayes to the plate. Hayes, batting .254 on the year, takes the first pitch. Sinker for a strike. It's 0-1. Hayes, 28-year-old, drafted in 2015 in the first round by the Pirates. The 0-1. Down and away. 1-1. His 1 home run this year, a .254 average, .619 OPS, the 1-1. Slider in the dirt, 2-1. Of course, he's the son of Charlie Hayes, former major leaguer. He's been with the Pirates since 2020. The 2-1 swing and a miss. Down and away on the slider. The 2-2 from Elder. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Smoke him if you got him. He got him. 2 away. Good pitch. We're going to try to straighten this up a bit. It's a touch behind. Tends to do this when they go to break sometimes. You'll see that screen just spin. First pitch on the way to Gorski as we reset your screen, and it's coming back in now. It's outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Righty-righty matchup, the 1-0. Swing. Did he go around? Looks like he did. They're going to check first base umpire Clint Vondrick. He said that he did go. 1-1. 1-1 count. Swing and a miss at the slider. Matt Gorski came up as an outfielder as the 1-2's in the dirt, 2-2. They got him over at first base today. 27-year-old from Fishers, Indiana. Drafted by the Pirates in the second round in 2019, the 2-2. That gets launched down the right field line, but foul and out of play. Deep into the corner down there. He played his college ball in Indiana. He's a Hoosier. 2019, if you remember, Indiana baseball was pretty good back then. This is his rookie season, 19 at bat so far. A 231 average. 6'2", 220. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Sinker just misses inside, full count. The full count. Swing and fouls it back. We'll go once again to a payoff pitch. Mets and Cubs are underway. We'll keep you up to date on that. They're just getting going in the top of the first. Nothing. The payoff from Elder. Swinging. Just got a piece of that to stay alive. Chase the slider off the edge. The 3-2. Rocks and fires. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Respect your elder. We go to the top of the third. 0-0 in Pittsburgh.
I need you to be honest with me.
I am being honest with you, dude.
This is gonna go a lot easier if you're honest.
And I will. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. What are you on right now?
Cloud 9. What? On Cloud 9?
No, what are you on right now? You
One?
gotta be honest.
I'm on one, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Stop. What are you on right now, man?
TikTok, what? Instagram, all of them. I'm on all of them.
I'm not talking about your ads. Drugs.
Sure, if you got some.
Armchair. What your favorite type of ice cream says about you. If your favorite type of ice cream is chocolate or vanilla, you're a classic person. You tend to keep to yourself. You do have a lot of friends though, and you're a pretty dope person. Now, if your favorite type of ice cream is pistachio, you either have a taste bud issue or you're 50. That's it. Now, chocolate chip cookie dough, you, my friend, are smart, immaculate, beautiful. Now, I don't know why, but when someone says their favorite ice cream is cotton candy, they're either 5 or they smell like the entire Bath and Body Works store. And if your favorite ice cream is coffee, you, my friend, have a coffee addiction. You should probably get that checked out.
Things change so fast in the United States. All of us have the experience, even by the time we're 40 often, of going back to the place where we grew up and finding everything changed. And something about baseball seems to tie us into that change, or to link us, to carry us across the decades and the times. As the new players come up and the old, formerly new players become old, there's a kind of continuity to it that we don't find in our neighborhoods, where the old factory is torn down, condominiums go up, and baseball, for all its changes, continues. 3 strikes are still an out.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way from Bailey Falter is a curveball to Ozzie Albies, just misses inside. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swing, chops it. Over short, another easy 6-3 put out. Ozzie 0 for 2. Seen 3 pitches tonight in that leadoff position. One up, one down. First pitch on the way to Austin Risley is a curveball outside for a strike. It's 0-1. He sizzled 3 pitches his first time up. 2 were long and foul. The other one was for a base hit into left. The 0-1 swing, pops it back down the first base side. Now to play quickly 0-2. The 0-2. Falter be his 43rd of the night. The wind up the pitch. 93 misses outside 1-2. Well, the Cubs are not putting up the good fight. They're already down 1-0. First batter of the game launched a home run. I think that's Lindor. I'm not 100% sure. I can't quite see it. 1-2 misses way outside 2-2. Two count. Pitch on the way, swing, pops it up. Got a curveball on the outside edge and reached for it. I think that was too close to take. It probably would have been a backwards K if he ends up looking at it. F6 in your scorecard on a can of corn that got shot up the chute. Catch is made by Triolo. 2 down. Two down, and the first pitch on the way to Marcell Ozuna is a curveball outside for a strike. It's 0-1. Swing, chops it foul, slider down the third baseline. It's 0-2. Nothing, your score here in the third. Braves quick 2 outs here in the third, and an 0-2 to Marcell. Sinker misses high, 1-2. Braves had a golden opportunity in the first inning to score, couldn't take advantage of it. The 1-2, swing, chops it over towards second. Should have plenty of time with Marcell running. He doesn't really run nowadays. He more kind of skips. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country. 0-0, bottom of the third we go.
You saved $1 a day for a year. Do you know how much money you'd have? Roughly $30,000.
What did you eat before and after a match?
The pre-match meal was probably 3 Miller Lights and 2 Tylenols. That was the pre-match meal. And then afterwards, the post-match meal was probably 12 Miller Lights.
What your birthday says about you, friend group edition. If you were born the 24th to the 26th, then you are the partier. You're friends with everybody. You don't care who comes over, who has a good time with you, as long as you're there. If you were born the 6th, then you're definitely the weird one out of the group, but you're still really funny and people love to hang out with you. Now, if you were born the 14th through the 16th, you were definitely more of the quiet person. You'd rather just have all your friends come over, watch movies, whatever, but you'll still go out. Now, if you were born the 9th or the 10th, then you're the type of person that tries to get out of everything. You don't want to party, you don't want to do anything, you just want to sit home by yourself.
On June 3rd, 1932, Lou Gehrig did something even Babe Ruth had never done. He hit 4 home runs in a single game. But that extraordinary feat got him few headlines the next day. Something even more important to baseball had happened. John McGraw was leaving the game.
After 30 years of continuous services, John Joseph McGraw has resigned as manager of the Giants. At the age of 59, Mr. McGraw steps down because of failing health, with his Giants in last place. Mr. McGraw was a product of the old school of baseball, when fistfights were common, when red liquor was sold at all the park, when only ladies of questionable social standing attended the game. To the end, he was faithful to his truculent creed. The last official act he performed as manager of the Giants was to file a protest with the league against Bill Clem, the umpire. Joe Williams, New York World Telegram.
He died 2 years later, mourned by many as the greatest of all baseball managers, the winner of 10 pennants.
First pitch from Elder is a sinker for a strike after the 1-0 pitch. It all evens up at 1-1. 1-1, kicks and fires, swing, fouls it back. Adam Frazier, the batter. 1-2. Frazier batting number 7 in the order tonight. He'll be followed by the left fielder Camarillo and Triola in the hole. The 1-2. Swing, just got a piece of that to stay alive. We'll do it again, 1-2. Braves nothing, Pirates nothing. The 1-2 count. Slider looked like it grabbed the top of the zone, but he didn't get the call. 2-2. The 2-2 to Frazier. Swing. Bangs it over to first. Matt Olson will flip it. Elder steps on the bag. 1 down. Alexander Canarillo will come to the plate. 25-year-old out of Monte Cristi, Dominican Republic. .41 at bats this year, the 122 batting average, a career batting average of 205 and 83 at bats. It dates back to last year. The first pitch swinging, lifts it high and deep, blasts it, and that's gone. 1-0 your score. Pittsburgh takes a 1-0 lead. And Alexander Canarillo, second home run of the year, just lifts it over the right field wall, 346 feet. 101 miles an hour off the bat, a rainbow that just run out of room. Very short porch here in right field in Pittsburgh. That goes off the wall on most parks, but it just creeped over the edge. First pitch on the way to Triolo, the number 9 hitter. Right there for a strike, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Right there, strike, outer edge, 0-2. Pittsburgh 1, Braves nothing. Bottom of the third. The 0-2. Slider just misses. 1-2. One-two count. 92 just misses inside. 2-2. The 2-2. Nibbling again, ball 3-2. So they get the 2 quick strikes, and now Smurf has them nibbling, going off the edge, left and right. The payoff pitch, swing, hits it over to first. Right at Olson, he'll step on first to record the out, 2 down. You ever wonder why the Pittsburgh Pirates are called the Pittsburgh Pirates? When they first were formed in the American Association, they were called the Alleghenies, the Allegheny River. It's right there in Pittsburgh. But around 1891 is the first pitch on the way. Sinker on the inner cut to O'Neill Cruz. It's 0-1. The Philadelphia Athletics, along with other clubs, started accusing the Alleghenies as the 0-1. Right there for a strike on the outer edge. It's 0-2. Of piratical actions. And eventually they just embraced the name the Pirates. The 0-2. Changeup misses outside wide 1-2. The big thing that it came from Luis, Bierbauer. What a great name. The 1-2 slider down and in 2-2. Luis Bierbauer, who had played in the Players League, which was about to fold, was signed by Pittsburgh, but Philadelphia wanted them, and that's how the nickname began. The 2-2 in the dirt. Ball 3-2. So you got a full count, 1 run in, 2 outs. The payoff pitch, swing, rattles it foul. Do it again. You'll have the middle of the order due up for the Braves when we start the 4th inning. The payoff from Elder. Swing. Hits it hard on the ground to Ozzie. He has it and tosses it over to Olsen. It's a 4-3 put out. That'll end the inning. But not before the Pirates put one on the board. The Braves trail it 1-0. Kind of sleepwalking tonight here in Steel City.
I asked my wife what she wanted for Valentine's Day, and she said a divorce. I said I wasn't planning on spending that much money.
In the late 50s and early 60s, the state of Florida was responsible for 2/3 of all loss-of-limb accident claims in the U.S., due largely to one town, Vernon, Florida. This was because Vernon was the site of a widespread insurance scam where residents would dismember themselves for a payout. The problem was so extensive that the town became known as Nub City for this very reason. One man claimed he shot his foot when he mistook it for a squirrel. These claims generally received payouts of $5,000 to $10,000, but as the scam went on, the claims increased in value as the residents became bolder. This practice finally ended in the late 60s when premium rates became too high.
I am sick. I am sick of your shit. And when I'm not sick, I'm tired. I am sick and tired.
Just so y'all know, I am too old to be going out anywhere past 10 p.m. Please only invite me to brunch and day parties.
Satchel was just about some of everything. He was like, we had a good baseball team. When Satchel pitched, we had a great baseball team.
Number one, that's a fastball. He called that his midnight rider. The changeup, he called that 4-day creeper.
He kicked his leg impossibly high before pitching. Then he'd throw around that foot.
I was playing with Toledo Crawford, the first team in 1940, and I heard about Satchel. So I said, well, I'm going to stay up here a whole week after the season over and see Satchel, because I'd never seen him before. So I was up in the grandstand, bashful like I was, you know. I'm way up by myself, and the game started, and Satchel threw the ball. I didn't see anything. The man threw the ball back. He threw it again. I didn't see nothing. I said, he playing shot a ball? So next inning, I went down there where behind the stop. I just saw a little glimpse. He was throwing the ball. But in the grandstand, I couldn't see him.
Bailey Falter goes to work. First pitch to Matt Olson is down and out of the zone. It's 1-0. We're here in the 4th inning. The Braves have amassed just 1 hit so far. His time is called. Falter back to work. His 51st pitch of the night, the 1-0. Swing, dribbles it over to first. It's going to be an easy put out. G3, 1 down. We've seen this play out 100 times, but these road games, the first game, they just always seem to be sleepwalking. They'll wake up later, but it's like there's no emphasis put on the fact that they're giving away at bats and giving away innings in the early going. First pitch to Eli White, slider up top. It's only 1. And we've had a couple of extra inning games 2 of the last 3 nights, and I get that. And they flew into Pittsburgh, but it wasn't a late game. last night. The 0-1 to White. Swing. Golfs it high in the sky. Should be an easy play. Both defenders converging on it. Canario makes the catch, 2 down. Two down. One thing is for sure, we have not seen an improvement with the hiring of Tim Hyer. That is 100% sure. The offense is not taken like some next level. First pitch to Murphy is right there at the knees. It's 0-1. I don't put it all on him, but at the same token, everybody was all up in arms wanting to fire the hitting coach last year. And you would think a different coach would bring in different results. The 0-1. Down and in, slider misses, 1-1. 1-1 count. Braves trail 1-0. Top of the fourth. The pitch to Smurf. Swing and a miss. 93 blew it right by him. 1-2. Must have been sitting on the soft stuff because that 93 shouldn't get that far past Smurf before he gets his bat wound up. He must have been cheating on a breaking pitch. The 1-2 to Smurf. Check swing, just stayed alive. Do it again, 1-2. One-two count. I still wouldn't consider Seattle a good offense, though. You know, the 1-2 looked like he went around strike 3. He did. Murph didn't even put up a fight. He just went to the dugout. All right, well, nice playing. We'll be back in a flash. Braves trail 1-0.
Y'all, I can't wait for my daughter to get her first car. First thing I'm going to do is stomp out a bag of hot Cheetos in the carpet and pour some soda all over the back seat.
So someone today accused me of being a racist, and I've got to say, I don't think it has anything to do with your skin color at all. I think it has everything to do with your species. I don't know if you know this, but humans, we suck, dude. We suck, bro. It has nothing to do with your skin color. Don't care. You're a human, dude. You probably suck. 9 times out of 9.5 times, you suck, bro. We all do, bro. We are selfish, self-centered, ungrateful, ugly, ignorant, nasty people, bro. Have you met a dog before? Those are cool as
Dad, I was wondering if I could plan the family New Year's Eve party.
No.
What? Why not?
Because your mother always plans it.
Well, Dad, just let me be in charge this one time.
The only thing you're in charge of is your own bodily functions.
Yeah, you say that every time.
I mean it every time.
Come on, how come you get to make all the rules?
I'm following the only rule that matters, the golden rule, jackass.
What's the golden rule?
He who has the gold makes the rules.
Oh my God.
What do you expect me to do? I mean, that's what I get paid to do. Did you see us play UCLA? I mean, if you're not going to try to motivate somebody after that, then I'll be damned if I shouldn't even get paid.
See, Satchel did to black baseball just what Ruth did to white baseball. See, because Ruth kept the franchises going. This Ruth, after the Black Sox scandal, here comes a Ruth, and he brings it back. And this is the same thing that happened to us. This Satchel came. This is a guy that the people wanted to see, and he never failed.
The average black player was paid $200 to $300 a month. Page made several times that amount.
Welcome back. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Braves trail 1-0 off a solo shot. Number 8 hitter, Canario, just lifted it over the left field wall last inning to make it 1-0. First pitch to Reynolds is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. 1-0. Right there for a strike, 1-1. Reynolds 0 for 1 on the night. Pitch down and in, slider to the left-hander. 2-1. Reynolds down, grounded into a double play with Cruz on first. 2-1 is bang fouled. 2-2. The 2-2. Change-up misses. 3-2. Those of y'all listening on radio, I was saying at the break that I want a kind of manager that has that Bobby Knight type of fire because his voice was playing one of those clips as a 3-2. Caught looking strike 3. Slider, more like a curve almost. Buckled the knees of Reynolds, 1 away. Wouldn't you love to see a chair go flying across the field at the umpires? I don't know if a manager like Bobby Knight could live past the age of 50, to be honest with you, because the way he got riled up in what would they play around maybe 30 college basketball games a year? Can you imagine him having to get fired up for 162 like that? First pitch to McCutcheon is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1, but I would love to see it. The 0-1, right there, first strike. It's 0-2. That would make every single night must-see TV. I mean, you would be locked in. If you missed the game, you'd be searching the X feed to find out what your manager did that night. The 0-2 slider misses down and away, 1-2. Just missed the zone. One-two to McCutcheon, way outside wide. 2-2. McCutcheon, career 273 hitter. He's got 2,179 hits and 322 home runs, 1,100 RBI. He's going to fall just short of the Hall of Fame, but he'll probably be in the Pirates Hall of Fame. The 2-2 down and away, full count. Looks like Jameson Taillon just gave up another home run to the Mets. The payoff pitch, swing, pops it up. High in the sky, Eli White. Took a second for him to find it, come running in, makes the catch, 2 down. He gave up another big blast. I almost think that was McNeil. No, it was the kid Beatty that they just brought up again. Joey Bart stands in, first pitch, sinker, down below the knees, off the edge, it's 1-0. Righty-righty matchup. How fun would it be to cover that? A manager like that, always out there screaming at the umpires. The 1-0. Swing, bangs it foul. 1-1. One count. Bart takes his time out, stands out of the box for a second. Full night of baseball on the slate tonight. We'll get into the scores here in a bit. The 1-1 right there, sinker on the outer edge. It's 1-2. One-two count. 92. Called for a wide strike 3. I'm not sure about that one, but we'll take it. That is Dan Bellino for you. We'll be back in a flash. Top of the 5th we go. Braves have done nothing, and we're already through 4.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah, bud?
When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, I wanted to be a rock star.
Why didn't you become one?
'Cause of you, bud. I smiled at one girl in a cell phone store, and now here I am stuck eating cereal for dinner with a kid.
You'll always be a rock star to me, Dad.
You ruined my life.
Throw it again, please. Throw it again.
Ozuna down the left field line, and we're tied at 5.
quotes in Spartan history. When King Agesilaus was questioned about how Sparta lacked fortifications, he would merely point at his men and say, "These are Sparta's walls." When the aging king was asked, "How far do Sparta's boundaries reach?" he simply held out his spear and answered, "As far as this can reach." When King Philip was expanding his empire across Greece, he sent a letter to the current Spartan king, asking if he wanted him to enter his lands as a friend or a foe. The only response Philip ever received was a single-word reply, "Neither." When King Philip of Macedon sent a message to Sparta, he said, "If once I enter into your territories, I will destroy ye all, never to rise again." The Spartans' reply was simply the word, "if."
Armchair.
Satchel Paige had a good arm, a strong arm with no muscles. He had just like a slingshot. I grabbed his arm one day. I said, "Hey, Satchel," I said, "you ain't got muscles." He said, "No, but I can sling that ball up there."
He knew how to pitch. See, that's one thing. And then, you know, when he got ready to warm up, he wouldn't look for no plate or glove. He'd try to find him a piece of chewing gum or match them. He said, "This is what I'm aiming at." See, and he would throw it. And then another thing about Satchel, when he was on the road, he liked to drive fast. So I was driving, and so we was going from Little Rock to New Orleans. He says, he called me homie. He said, "Hey, homie." He said, "Pull over." I said, "What for, Satch?" He said, "There's a man behind us in a wheelbarrow." He said, "We want to let him by." Well, I was doing about 80, you know, and so, hey, at that rate, you know, hey, I wasn't going fast enough for him.
Michael Harris II will lead us off. See if he can get something going here for the Braves. We head to the top of the fifth. Valter cruising along, 58 pitches in. First pitch on the way. Swing. Slices it foul. Jam shot over the third base dugout. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Valter comes set, brings it. 92 at the knees, taken all day long. It's 0-2. 0-2 count. 1-0 your score. Braves trail. Solo shot by the number 8 hitter. Canario is the difference. The 0-2 swing, slices it foul down the line. We'll do it again. Braves come into this game needing one win to get to 500 for the first time since opening day. They can win this series, they will accomplish just that. The 0-2 to Harris. Valter flips it up there. 93 just misses. 1-2. Mets lead the Cubs 3-0. They are in the bottom of the second, putting a pounding on Jameson Taillon. Tigers 2-0 over the Texas Rangers. The 1-2 is just gets a piece of it. We'll do it again. Just got a stitch or two on that ball to stay alive on that one. That diving curve that he throws. The 1-2 swing, chops it behind home plate. He leans on that slider and that four-seamer. That sinker and curve, he uses that pretty regularly too. Those are his four main pitches. He'll throw the split 3% of the time, just enough to keep you off balance. The 1-2 misses high. Ball 2, 2-2. Standing on deck, Stuart Fairchild. The 2-2 from Valter. Pops it up. Lazy fly ball into center field. It'll be F8 in your scorecard. O'Neal Cruz with the catch, one down. Tomorrow is A.J. Smith-Shawver, and then Sunday is Chris Sale Day. We should get some news sometime this weekend, maybe as late as Monday, on Spencer Strider. He's throwing a bullpen session tomorrow. First pitch on the way. Stuart Fairchild down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Fairchild, long fly out his last time up, almost left the building. The 1-0. Inside 2-0. Slider misses. Fairchild getting the rare start, giving Verdugo a seat against Falter in the left hand. The 2-0 to Stu. Outside wide ball 3-0. If he can get on, he's got speed. He can cause some problems. Braves need some kind of traffic on the bases. Haven't seen that since the first inning. One hit for Atlanta the whole game. The 3-0, right down the pipe, taking it all the way. 3-1. Drawn 2 walks. 3-1. Swing, pops it up. Can of corn at first. That'll be an easy F3. 2 down. Two away. And Nick Allen will try to get on pace. Falter at just 71 pitches, so he's cruising on that front as well. Don Kelly was named the manager for the Pittsburgh Pirates after the firing. First pitch on the way, swung on, and that ball is going to get dribbled up the middle, and that's going to be on for a base hit. And Nick Allen gets on, 1 on, 2 out. Ozzie Albies coming to the plate. Lefty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way to Ozzie's down and in. Did he go around? He did not. And he almost went around on that. That thing almost hit his freaking back of his heel on his right foot. Hacking at everything up there. The 1-0. Swing. Dribbler up the middle. Should be an easy play. It is. 6-4 put out. Ozzie 0 for 3 and has seen a total of 5 pitches. That's your leadoff hitter. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
It's fine. We'll buy it and we'll return it.
All sales are fine.
Come on. I'll show you what's final, you I will burn you alive like the last you cross me.
Okay, all right. That's not getting us anywhere, okay? She's hot.
I went hot real fast. It just happened.
Y'all, my wife and I have been happily married for 16 years. The other day I decided to watch a movie without her, and all of a sudden I'm moving funny.
American history lesson. You don't know nothing about Lady Liberty. Standing there in the harbor with her torch on high, screaming out to all the nations of the world, send me your poor, your deadbeats, your filthy. And all the nations sent them in here. They come swarming in like ants. And they're all free to live where they feel safe. And they bust your head if you go in there. That's what makes America great, buddy.
Here's Jackson, the last time at bat possibly in Reggie Jackson's career. Listen to the crowd. Broken bat up the middle. Base hit, Reggie Jackson.
Anyone else find functional alcoholics fascinating? Like, these will drink a 30-pack of the most disgusting beer on earth, get blackout drunk, and then wake up the next morning at 6:30 a.m. and go to a manual labor job in the direct sunlight where they work all day. The only thing that they'll consume is like a gas station hot dog and Mountain Dew, and they will be totally fine, and then when they're done work, go right back to drinking again and do the whole thing all over.
One of the things about baseball is the imagination of people, and something remarkable happens. I was there in their imaginations. When Babe Ruth allegedly pointed to right field bleachers before hitting his home run there against the Cubs in that World Series, I've had at least maybe 100 people tell me, I was there. If everybody who said they were there really at Cubs Park would seat 500,000 people.
Bryce Elder goes back to work, bottom of the 5th. First pitch, sinker on the outer edge for a strike.
to Brian Hayes, 0-1. Elder at 66 pitches, the 0-1. This is outside, right there for a strike. Got a good call on that one. So a 2-strike count to Hayes. Righty-righty matchup. Here's the pitch. Just misses. Out-of-town scoreboard looks like this is the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the slider. One away. Tigers lead the Rangers 2-0. It's Turk Schoolball night for Detroit in Detroit. Cardinals 4-0 over the Nationals. They are in the 4th. Rays and Brewers, it's 1-0. They are in the 4th. The Brewers are batting with 2 on the corner. Nobody out. The 0-1, first pitch right there to Gorski was for a strike. Swinging. It's 0-1. The 0-1 right there. Up top. 0-2. 0-2 count. Bangs it foul down the line. Just noticed something in the... Yeah. I thought my eyes were deceiving me, but now they're showing the wide view. The sun is blasting off a couple of windows as the 0-2 swing pops it up high in the sky, coming over, making the catch in right center, Stuart Fairchild, 2 down. And I'm sure it only lasts for a little bit, but the sun is blasting off of a couple of the windows in, we'll call it deep right center field in the backdrop, well past the stadium, and you could see the glow in the player, in the batter's eyes. That's got to be blinding. First pitch on the way to Frazier. Misses for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 swing lifts it high in the sky. Into right field, coming in, making the sliding catch is Stuart Fairchild. And I've always wanted to say this as a broadcaster. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. We'll head to the top of the 6th. Haven't done a thing on the board.
Everybody stop. I didn't go to the Lakers game because they were playing the Bobcats. And I came here today because I thought this was a session on how my wife could learn to communicate. How to answer a question without a question. Which I thought, given your wall of diplomas, you could easily fix. Or if you couldn't, you could give her a pill that could either fix it or make her a mute. But now, to turn around and gang up on me, I have hundreds of clients to deal with. And just so we're clear, I don't care about any of them. They're all just a number. Like wife number 1 and therapist number 7. Good day.
The donkey said to the tiger, "The grass is blue." The tiger replied, "No, the grass is green." The discussion heated up, and the two decided to went before the lion, the king of the jungle. The donkey began to shout, "Your Highness, is it true that the grass is blue?" The lion replied, "True, the grass is blue. The tiger will be punished with 5 years of silence." The tiger accepted his punishment, but before he asked the lion, "Your Majesty, why have you punished me?" The lion replied, "The worst waste of time is arguing with the fool and fanatic who does not care about truth or reality, but only the victory of his beliefs and illusions."
Sure, he called a shot. No question about it. The difficulty is, did he point? Did he stand extravagantly and point to center field the way William Bendix did in that terrible movie? No, he didn't.
Ironically, Gehrig was the real star of the Yankees' 4-game sweep, but few would remember his performance in the face of all the publicity Ruth got. Ruth himself was evasive when asked if he really had called his shot. "It's in the papers, isn't it?" he said. "Why don't you read the paper?" 1 month later, Franklin Roosevelt was elected president, pledged to bring his country out of the Depression. "I have no expectation of making a hit every time I come to bat," Roosevelt said. "What I seek is the highest possible batting average, not only for myself, but for my team."
Austin Riley leads us off. First pitch at the knees. Slider for a strike. It's 0-1. Lefty-righty matchup. Falter just blowing right through this lineup left and right. The 0-1. Down and in, 1-1. Be the third time through the order. They're showing up on the screen how the first time with Bailey Falter, it's a 196 average, second time 286, and the third time 304. It was the 1-1, swing and miss 1 and 2. But when you've had pretty much a 0-0-0 average for the entire team, I'm not buying into those analytics. One, 2 to Riley. Kicks and fires. High and out of the zone, 2-2. The 2-2 comes set, swing, pops it up, can of corn. Who wants it? Frazier will make the catch. Easy play, easy out. 6th inning starts just like the rest. Nothing doing. You realize he's that. Braves have 2 hits in the entire game as Marcell Ozuna stands in. First pitch banged on the ground, foul down the line. It's 0-1. The 0-1. They keep showing the replay of Brian Hayes trying to make that play right at third. Man, I thought he was a really good defensive third baseman. He may not be. The 0-1 outside wide, 1-1. That ball came down towards him, and he just kind of punched his glove at it like he's never played baseball before. That was weird. The 1-1 count. I know I've seen him play really good defense in the past. That's a strange one. Pitch on the way, swing, pops it back, foul and out of play, 1-2. The 1-2 to Marcell. Ozuna digs in, the pitch, pops it up. Back behind the first base dugout, we'll do it again, 1-2. One-two count. Falter, his 84th pitch of the night. Swing, pops that one up. That'll bend out of play. I'm getting some bad weather here, so if I lose you, I'll try to jump back in, but threatening skies if you hear that loud thunder behind us. One-two, another pop-up. This one will stay in play. That was 4 consecutive pop-ups in a row. You'd think you'd change your approach there, 2 down. He's got his number. Which is strange because he came into this game 5 for 10 lifetime. Matt Olson, the batter. First pitch. 93 right there down the pipe. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Comes set. Brings it. Teardrop just off the plate. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Swing. Chase that one well off the plate. 1-2. He'll probably get that pitch again. You can't lay off of that. The 1-2 to Olsen. Falter. His 89th of the night. Blew it right by. He is putting them to school, boys. We'll be back in a flash. Pittsburgh leads it 1-0. Bottom of the 6th we go.
You're telling me that you believe that Christ comes back to life every Sunday in the form of a bowl of crackers, and then you proceed to just eat the man.
And I still maintain that if Deion Sanders would have played baseball his entire career, he would have been one of the greatest leadoff hitters to ever play the game because he was raw. He didn't even know what he was doing. He wanted to hit homers. He was so fast. He didn't even learn how to bunt yet. And he had such a capacity to change the game. He was great for us. It was jaw-dropping. I mean, he even played in the postseason. He would have been the MVP in '92. If we'd have won and beat the Blue Jays, he'd have been the MVP. That's how important he was. He's playing with a stress fracture in his foot. Words can't describe it.
Armchair.
So someone told me that I need anger management, and I don't feel like I need anger management. I feel like I need people to not piss me off. You know what I mean? So to avoid going to anger management, I've compiled an extensive list here of things people can do to not piss me off. Ready? Number 1, leave me the alone. Thank you for your time.
I was listening to a guy talk today, and he was like, a woman that loves you will stick by you no matter how many times you cheat on them. And I was like, sounds like you're talking about your mama, because that ain't me.
I think in the past that certainly Brooklyn's character was defined by the Brooklyn Dodgers. And even just the name Dodgers coming from these trolley cars that everybody had to dodge. The idea that Brooklyn felt a stepchild to New York City and that somehow the Dodgers, the bums, were stepchilds too, that were going to show the hotty-toddy New Yorkers that we were really better than them, defined who Brooklyn was. And even in Long Island, where I grew up, I felt that sense of Brooklyn, and it was all part of the Dodgers. I don't know that that exists today in the same way that you define who you are through your team and through your city. And I think it's a loss. It means that people are more fragmented. They've got themselves and a few friends, but they don't have that group sense unless there's a win. But that's not the same. That's not what this was all about when I was growing up. We hardly ever won, and it didn't matter.
We are back in Canario, who has the lone score in this game. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it off the end of his bat. It's 0-1. Bryce Elder, by the way, he has given up the 1 home run, but 6 strikeouts. He's pitched well. The Braves offense, just typical no-show. The 0-1. Fists it foul down the first base side. Just foul. It's 0-2. He was a late scratch. Tommy Pham was supposed to get the start. Didn't get word why, but they decided to go with Canario, and it's paid off. The 1-0 lead. Sun's finally starting to drop back. Still a little bit of a glare back there, but not nearly as bad as it was last inning as the 0-2's in the dirt. 1-2. I think that would be taken into consideration when you're building the stadium and any kind of building codes going forward to not allow. I mean, I don't know what's going on. There was some kind of unbelievable 1-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. Number 7 for Bryce Elder on the night. 1 down. You'd think they'd have him angled to where you wouldn't have that kind of I mean, it's ridiculous that it's one panel deep behind the batter's eye, and it's facing home plate off of one of the buildings. The first pitch on the way is slider up top for a strike. It's 0-1. It's almost like it might be like a mirror. I don't think it is, but that's the way the sun was coming off of it. The 0-1. Slider down the way, 1-1. Hopefully now that sun's starting to go down, maybe the Braves will actually see the ball. That might have had a factor in this offense. 1-1. Swing. Lifts it. High and deep into left field, going back, running out of room. She gone. Second home run jammed down the throat of Bryce Elder. Second hanger. And it's 2-0 Pittsburgh. Just a hanger. But all in all, not a bad outing for Elder. He's just got to get him some kind of offensive help. There's no other word for it, but this is an embarrassing performance again by an offense that can do much better. Ball cleared the fence by about 3 rows. That'll bring O'Neal Cruz. Better be careful here because he can bring it. First pitch, slider for a strike on the outer edge. It's 0-1. This will be the third time through the lineup. The 0-1 misses. 1-1. 1-1 count. Swing. Chops it foul. It's 1-2. Braves 0, Pittsburgh 2. The 1-2. Caught looking strike 3 right down the pipe. Froze him. Must have been looking for the bender because that sinker coming in at 92, and he didn't even flinch. He had to have been sitting on slider. Number 2 batter, Brian Reynolds, will come to the plate. Righty-lefty, first pitch. Swing, chops it foul off his foot. It's 0-1. Braves still have 3 more bats, but it's getting early, getting late early. We started this game just an hour and a half ago. We're already 2 outs into the 6th. The 0-1. Changeup misses. 1-1. Mets are leading the Cubs 5-0 in the 4th. The 1-1 ripped into right field. Fairchild would get it, but it'll be a 2-out single for the Pirates. And the beat goes on. Bringing Andrew McCutchen to the plate. Two down. First pitch to Andrew is right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing, chops it off his foot. Foul. It's 0-2. Got an 0-2 count. Eli White will be leading us off in the next inning. The pitch on the way, swing, blasted deep into center. She gone. It goes off the top of the wall. I thought it was gone. Maybe it's a double? I have to wait for a ruling here. It's at least 3-0 right here. I guess that stayed in the park. Ball pop. Oh, it did stay in the park. It looked like it was leaving the yard. I thought it hit the area right behind it, but it hit the very top of the wall, and Harris got the carom. Runner comes around to score. 3-0. So the Braves really burying themselves. Elder, this will be his 93rd pitch of the night. Bart, the batter. First pitch, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Slider, nowhere near the zone. 1-1. 1-1 count. Elder comes set, brings it. Misses. Ball 2, 2-1. Braves trail 3-0. Cubs have just hit a solo shot to make it 5-1. 3-1. That ball misses nowhere near the zone. Three of the last 4 pitches have been nowhere near the plate. 3-1, right there, sinker. 3-2. Elder's running out of gas. It's pretty obvious. He's about to throw his 98th pitch. Full count to Joey Bart. He'll call timeout real quick, step out of the box, do that whole routine. Bart is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Standing on deck is Brian Hayes. Elder on fumes right now, the payoff pitch. Swing, just got a piece of it. Slider, bangs it backwards. Full count once again. De Los Santos being warmed up in the pen, but you probably could have brought him in about 3 batters ago when it was still 2-0. He's at 8 strikeouts. Season high. 3-2. Pops it up. High into center field. Ball's carrying quite a bit. It'll die in the glove of Harris, and that'll end the inning. But not for the Pirates. Punch 2 more down the throat of Bryce Elder. It's 3-0. We go to the 7th. Wake up, Braves country.
Vaughn's been working on a couple of new pitches, the Eliminator and the Humiliator, to complement his fastball, the Terminator. I heard that. Dynamite drop-in money at broadcast school has really paid off.
Before Jackie Robinson, Moses Fleetwood Walker broke baseball's color barrier. In his 3rd year of college, he enrolled at the University of Michigan. There he was the team's leading hitter, hitting both for average and power. In 1883, he would not return to Michigan, instead choosing to sign with the Toledo Blue Stockings, where he would start his journey to become a professional baseball player. He appeared in 60 of Toledo's 84 games in 1883, despite catching barehanded with his only protection being a mask behind home plate. Toledo's success in 1883 propelled them into the American Association, where they officially became a Major League Baseball team in 1884. This meant on opening day of the 1884 season, the starting catcher of the Blue Stockings would become the first African-American player to play a professional baseball game. During his only Major League season, he batted .263, 3rd best on the team, and 23 points above the league average. Unfortunately, he would be plagued by injuries. His last game of the season would be in July when he suffered a season-ending injury. On September 22nd, he was released. The Blue Stockings folded in 1885, and Walker bounced around between minor league teams until 1888. In 1889, the American Association and the National League unofficially banned African American players. Regardless, he will forever be known as the player who broke baseball's color barrier and paved the way for Jackie Robinson.
Armchair.
Brooklyn had last won a pennant in 1920, but the Dodgers had never won a World Series. And with players like Pea Ridge Day and Hot Potato Hamlin, they were best known for what one of their own managers called bonehead play. The most celebrated Dodger star was Babe Herman, who hit .393 in 1930, an all-time Dodger record. But he was famously inept in the field, carried lit cigars in his pockets, and once boasted that if a fly ball ever hit him on the head, he'd quit.
Chase Shugart is coming on. Right-hander with a 3.68 ERA. 11 strikeouts, 4 walks. He'll come in for Bailey Falter. .250 batting average against the lefties, 205 versus righties. First pitch on the way. Eli White is a sweeper out top. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Rips it into left field. Fly ball out. Easy catch by Canario. 1 down. Sean Murphy will come to the plate. Top of the 7th. Fast-moving ball game. Braves trail 3-0. You know, and you want the wins. Don't tell me, you know, I don't act like I don't want the wins. But when you get these extra inning W's 2 of the last 3 nights, then you go on the road, you just wonder if they're just flat. And there's not much you can do to fire them up. First pitch on the way. Sinker, sawed off foul, it's 0-1. It's not that they're not competing, but they do feel flat. It's like that beer you left out all night, and the next morning you go, yeah, I'll drink it, but it's not really what I want. The 0-1. Chops it foul. It's 0-2. I mean, let's not be wasteful around here. I mean, drink it, but you just kind of have to hold your nose as it goes down. PGH up on the ATL, 3-0. Wind is starting to pick up a little bit. It's blowing out to right center field. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Murphy needs to change his prescription on those glasses. He hasn't been worth a hoot in a while. Sean Murphy will give way to Michael Harris. First pitch to Michael. 89, down and in. The 1-0, outside wide, 2-0. Murphy now batting just 220. Olsen 224. Harris 226. The 2-0, right there at the knees, 2-1. Ozzie 228. I mean, 220 boys are representing in Atlanta this summer, man. Good night, Irene. The 2-1 pitch, down and in. 3-1. And Fairchild wishes he could get there. He's batting .043. When's that kid Acuna coming up from the minors, man? We need a shot of adrenaline. The 3-1 pitch, swing, chops it foul, 3-2. Full count to Harris, sitting on just 3 home runs as we are 2 weeks into May. Shugart about to plow through the order here in the 7th. Full count. Misses high ball 4. So Harris will at least extend the inning for the next batter. I would think they'll go ahead and grab Fairchild and take him out of the game. Batting .043 and 0 for 2 tonight. You don't want him seeing a right-hander. Unless they just really want to give the night off. It's taking a second for what's going on here. The home plate umpire, Dan Bellino, is going in to change his scorecard. I don't know why there was such a long delay here. It will be Verdugo coming off the bench. But he should have been ready, and the manager, Don Kelly, he's going to go and grab the left-hander out of the bullpen. He was wanting to make sure that the play was being called, but man, that took forever. That should not have taken that long. They're just going through the motions even when they're making moves tonight. Left-handers coming in to face Verdugo. We'll see if we stick with them. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country. Quick reminder, Luke Williams was called up today, and Eddie Rosario thankfully DFA'd. On this date in 1888, Kentucky Colonel's right-hander, Elton Icebox Chamberlain, a natural right-hander, throws left-handed for the final 2 innings during his complete game victory against the visiting Kansas City Cowboys. Louisville wins the American Association contest in Eclipse Park 18-6. On this date in 1937, Cincinnati Reds starter Peaches Davis gives up 15 hits, but goes the distance in the Cincinnati Reds' 21-10 rout of Philadelphia. The right-hander's battery mate, Ernie Lombardi, goes 6 for 6 in the Baker Bowl contest, collecting 5 singles and a double. On this date, 1943, due to the poor grade of rubber cement used to make baseballs because of wartime rubber shortages, a different type of baseball is used today, with dramatic results. Players hit 6 home runs in 8 games compared to 9 home runs tallied in the season's first 72 contests. And that's your Braves Country Radio on this date in baseball history. Find us on YouTube and Facebook today. Welcome back. The left-hander, Caleb Ferguson, will come on. Standing at the plate now, Stuart Fairchild was lifted, is Alex Verdugo. First pitch, 93 misses high. It's 0-1. Strangely enough, a bloop and a blast, and we're tied here. Not likely because the next guy up is Nick Allen, but the 1-1, down and away, 2-1. Harris is at first, so anything that gets down could score. Braves trail 3-0. The 2-1 brings it. 93, below the knees, but called for a strike. 2-2. Alex Verdugo wincing at that one, but that's been Dan Bellino all night long. That's Dan Bellino's career. He gives away strikes at the regular. The 2-2. Misses well down and away. Ball 3-2. Full count, and that'll mean that Harris will be off to the races. Anything that gets down in the gap now will score. Should score. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Chased a sinker about a foot off the plate, and that'll end the inning. Well, that's been the night tonight. We'll be back in a flash. Bottom of the 7th we go. Aniel De Los Santos will come on here in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch, 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Blew it right by Hayes. It's 0-1. The 0-1 kicks and brings it. Slider in the dirt. 1-1. Guardians lead the Phillies 1-0 in the 5th. They are in Cleveland this weekend, the 1-1. Swing and a miss, slider, 1-2. Mets 5, Cubs 1, bottom 4 in New York. Rays and Brewers are tied at 2 heading to the 6th. 1-2. Swing, slaps it over to the right side of the infield. Making the running catch is Olsen. Sticks out his glove on the line drive. L3 on your scorecard, 1 away. Good play by Olsen. Hard hit ball to the right side. Tigers 2, Rangers 1. They're in the 8th. Cardinals 6-0 over the Nationals in the 7th. Red Sox Royals, it's 0-0 in the 4th. Marlins and White Sox, Chicago up 2-1 in the 3rd. So first pitch to Gorski is popped up high and out of play over the first base dugout. Well, the Braves are calling home in this series. Pittsburgh resides in the third base dugout when they're at home. The 0-1 misses wide, 1-1. Reds and Astros, they're scoreless in the 2nd. Giants trail the Twins 1-0 in the 2nd. 1-1, swing and a miss slider, it's 1-2. Later on tonight, you got a pretty full slate. Padres at Rockies at 8:40. Orioles are at the Angels at 9:38. Dodgers and Diamondbacks 9:40. The 1-2. Slider misses, 2-2. Blue Jays are at the Mariners 9:40. At 10:05, you got the New York Yankees at the Athletics. 10:05 first pitch. The 2-2. Caught looking strike 3. He got caught watching the paint dry. 96 on the outer edge, 2 away. Two away, and that'll bring Frazier to the plate. Tomorrow, A.J. Smith-Shawver. 4:05 first pitch will come on at 3:30 to get you ready. First pitch to Frazier, misses for a ball. It's 1-0. Braves trail here 3-0. 1-0. 96 misses, 2-0. Name of the game today is there's been no offense. Elder kept him in it for a while, then gave up a couple of late ones. But all in all, pitched well enough to where he should be in this one right now, the 2-0. Swing and a miss on the changeup, 2-1. Two-1 count. De Los Santos comes set. High Sox brings it. Fastball, fires it back, fouls it back, 2-2. Mets are now up 6-1 on the Cubs, so you can pretty much put that one to bed. Two-two count. Righty lefty. De Los Santos, 97 misses inside. Full count. A.J. Smith-Shawver tomorrow, Chris Sale on Sunday. And Monday we return home for a 4-game set against the Nationals. Payoff pitch, roped down the first base line, but foul. And I also always believe that there's a little that goes into this when you're in the middle of a long stretch with no days off. You're going to get a ho-hum here and there. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss, strike 3. Blew it right by him. That'll end the inning. 1, 2, 3. We head to the top of the 8th, trailing by 3.
I'll take one terrible beer filled up way too high so I spill most of it, and a too long hot dog on a too short bun. And do you have mustard and relish?
Yeah, it's right there between the entrance and the exit to the bathroom.
Perfect. And can I get a bag of unsalted peanuts? You know, something I would never eat anywhere else in the world?
Sure, here you go.
Great. I can't wait to have diarrhea in the stall with no door while 20 guys wait for me to finish.
When we make what the men make and get the crowds that the men draw, then we should get paid the same. Literally, the men fund our leagues and we will still whine that we don't get paid enough. And honestly, it makes all of us look bad because instead of being thankful for the league that we have, we go out and whine and complain about the pay. I don't hear the men whining about OnlyFans models getting paid more than them. I don't hear the men whining about models getting paid more than them. Kendall Jenner is the highest paid supermodel. Where are the male supermodels? But whenever men dominate in an industry, women will just complain. Yes, let's not live in this delusion.
If it changes, I don't see why equality should be the only ambition for the women. If it turns out that in some sport women get more viewers watching and therefore draw more revenue, I'm all for them getting more money than the men.
Can you name 5 WNBA players? 5 female soccer players?
I mean, I can't name any.
Support
WNBA,
from the
basketball,
feminists.
I don't
we
know.
would get equal pay if we would just get the support from the feminists.
Well, let me tell you.
Name 5.
Let me tell you.
I don't even know what the WNBA is.
We need our support.
Armchair. It was an even bet that Babe would either catch it or get killed by it. His general practice was to run up when the ball was hit and then turn and run back and then circle about uncertainly. All this time the ball was descending, the spectators were petrified with fear, and Mr. Herman was chewing gum, unconcerned. At the proper moment, he stuck out his glove. If he found the ball there, he was greatly surprised and very happy.
Well, let's see if we can light a fire under their asses here as we head to the 8th inning. Tim is asking, why did Rosario come back? The better question is, why did Atlanta bring him back? First pitch on the way is he striked on the outer edge to Nick Allen. It's a home run. It really is dumbfounding. They wanted to send Kelnick down as the 0-1, right off the edge, 1-1. But honestly, anybody off the scrap heap would be better than Rosario. He had his day in the sun, but his career's over. 1-1 count. Swing, fouls it down the line, 1-2. And I understand anyone trying to hang on, trying to get those extra paychecks. I get it. That doesn't mean the Braves have to bring him on. Let him sit at the end of the bench in Miami. 1-2 count. Pitch. Oof. Nasty snapping curveball. It missed, but it was close. 2-2. Bednar, the new pitcher, used to be the closer for the Pirates. Nick Allen, who is 1 for 2, one of the 2 hits by Atlanta. The 2-2 misses, wide outside ball, 3-2. Braves looking to put a crooked number up here in the next few innings. Down to their last 6 outs, trailing by 3. The payoff pitch, swing, pops it up, back out of play. Pops on top of the first base dugout roof. Bounces into the crowd. Payoff pitch from Bednar, his 7th of the outing. Fists it into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Little Nicky gets the line moving. Let's see if we can do anything with this. Bring Ozzie Albies to the plate. And Austin Riley Moves on deck. Ozuna's in the hole. Good piece of hitting by Nicky Allen. They make a comeback. Circle that at bat right there. He fought off some good ones. First pitch on the way to Ozzie is 92. Splitter up top. It's 0-1. We'll change the view for you with the runner on base. Heck, we haven't had many tonight. Let's go ahead and take advantage of the action cam. The 0-1 misses high. 97 miles an hour, 1-1. Remember a couple of years ago, Bednar not only was the closer for Pittsburgh, he was highly sought after. There were people talking about making trades for him. 1-1, swing, low swing, pops it up. Thankfully, that one goes out of play. It's 1-2. And he had a minor IL stint, came back, and fell off. They eventually moved him down into a setup role. He's been doing much better. The 1-2 to Ozzie. Brings it. In the dirt, 2-2. Splitter nowhere near the zone. Good block by Bart behind home plate. Keep Allen over there at first. The double play in order. The 2-2. Allen with a modest lead over there. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Ozzie Albies 0 for 4. One down. I was definitely right about not taking him to click tonight. Him in the leadoff position. I don't know which is worse, him or Harris in the leadoff position, but they both don't work. Austin Riley, your batter. First pitch, down and away. 1-0. I still say I would put Allen up there on days like this because he'll give you a professional at bat, and he's got good speed. So it's not like he's going to clog up the base paths. 1-0 to Riley. Snapping curveball on the outer edge. It's 1-1. They head to the bottom of the fifth, and the Cubs did not take advantage of a scoring opportunity. They still trail 6-1 to the Mets. The 1-1 to Riley. Swing! Rifles a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. High and out of play into the first base side, upper deck area. Braves nothing. Pirates 3. The 1-2 from Bednar. Swing, hit hard on the ground, in through the hole. That's going to get through the 5-6 hole. And we got runners on first and second. One out, and the Zoo coming to the plate.
You're my boy, Blue! Blue, you're my boy!
105-mile-an-hour rocket in between short and third. And your Braves are going to bring the tying run to home plate. It's funny, the AI has confused the umpire and the catcher, so they're showing it on the screen that the umpire went out there to talk to Bednar. It was the catcher that went out there, but it's pretty funny. If that was real life, the pitcher would be like, "What the hell are you doing, man? Get back behind home plate." First pitch on the way to Ozuna. Snapping curveball down at the bottom of the zone, 77 miles an hour. That thing just drops and pops. It's 0-1. Love to see him hang one of those, but man, it's an impressive pitch when he's got it going in the right direction. The 0-1. Fastball. Taken all the way. And you got to wonder why that was Ozuna's pitch. 0-2. Standing on deck is Olsen. Righty-righty matchup. Bednar turns around and spins back to second to keep Allen close by. I don't think Bednar thought Allen was going. I think he just wanted to reset. So that's one move. One still remaining. The 0-2. Chased a curveball in the dirt. Strike 3. That was another bad at bat there. That one was a really bad at bat by Ozuna. You don't see those often by the Big Zoo, but that was a bad at bat. Waved at a curveball that was about 3 feet below his knees. I mean, that thing was digging its way to China. So Matt Olson will come to the plate. He represents the tying run. Righty-lefty matchup. Maybe he'll hang that curveball in his powerhouse. First pitch, that curveball. Whoa, below the knees. Well below the knees. Olson says something to Dan Bellino because he knows Snicker's not going to. That pitch was 3 inches below the strike zone. 0-1. They flash into the dugout, and Snicker and Weiss are trying to keep each other awake. Playing a game of checkers over there. Drinking a little hot cocoa. The 0-1. Down and in. Same pitch. This time he called it a ball. 1-1. Unbelievable bad call. So what should be 2-0 to Olson, which really if you really think about it, it changes the entire dynamic of the bat, possibly the game. The 1-1, 97-mile-an-hour fastball, rifled foul down the left field line and out of play. It's 1-2. 1-2 count. I just wish that one of the batters, one of the players, would go into the dugout and get into Snicker's ass when he doesn't do anything. The 1-2. Caught looking, strike 3. That one you got to pull the string on. But it all started with that horse crap call that started the whole at bat. We'll be back in a flash. The Braves scoreless and nothing coming from the dugout.
I accidentally spent $800 on phone sex.
I was doing my makeup in the rearview mirror and I ran over your golf clubs.
I burned a hole in your favorite dress.
You didn't get that promotion because I called your boss a fat ass at the Christmas party.
Well, I purposely dropped that bowling ball on your foot so you couldn't go to your high school reunion.
I'm 2 years older than you think I am!
Tonight, the information superhighway and one of its main thoroughfares, an online network called Internet.
The Internet, a global hookup that permits computers to exchange information. In 1981, only 213 computers were hooked to the Internet. As the new year begins, an estimated 2.5 million computers will be on the network, serving as many as 20 million people.
5 years from now, we're not going to have distinct cable and telephone industries. There's going to be one industry, and there'll be companies carrying bits, little pieces of information from point A to point B.
There are also interactive TV channels where people order movies on demand instead of driving to the local video store. High schoolers can get practice questions for the Scholastic Aptitude Test. These new services add about $10 a month to the average cable TV bill.
The Dodgers' best pitcher was Dazzy Vance, a hefty right-hander with an 83-inch reach, who had been the dominant strikeout pitcher of the 1920s. He literally had a trick up his sleeve.
You couldn't hit him on a Monday. He'd cut the sleeve of his undershirt to the elbow, and on that part of it he'd use lye to make it white, and the rest he didn't care how dirty it was. Then he'd pitch overhand out of the apartment houses in the background at Ebbets Field, between the bleached sleeve of his undershirt waving and the Monday wash hanging out to dry, the diapers and undies and sheets flapping on the clothesline. You lost the ball entirely. He threw balls by me I never even saw. Rube Bressler.
You know, it's a craptastic night for the offense when they're bragging about Sean Murphy being ranked 4th since 2019 in blocks behind home plate. Jesus. Get it together, production team. First pitch on the way from Aaron Bummer as he comes out of the bullpen. Fires a sinker up top for a strike to Canario. It's 0-1. He got the scoring started with the solo shot in the third inning that just creeped over the right field wall. The 0-1 right there at the knees. It's 0-2. 2 more runs were added in the 6th, and that's where we stand at 3-0. Another really bad night behind home plate by Dan Bellino. I think this is probably the worst pitching or worst umpire crew that we face or have faced, because Tony Randazzo and Clinton Vondrick are due up the next 2 nights. Vondrick's the worst of all of them. He goes tomorrow. And Randazzo, he isn't anything to write home about either. He goes on Sunday. The 1-2. Inside. 2-2. 2-2 count. Lefty-righty matchup. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the curveball bending in. 1 away. Braves have 3 more outs. Eli White will lead us off next inning. It'll be him, Murphy, and Harris in the 9th. Triolo, the number 9 hitter, takes the first pitch. Curveball on the edge for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Brings it. Swing. Looper. Into the glove of Nick Allen. He had to leap to the top of his jump as high as Nick Allen can go, and little Nick came down with it, snow-coned it, backhanded in his glove before it could get to left field. What an athletic play by Nick Allen. Two away now. O'Neal Cruz, the batter. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch from the southpaw to O'Neal is a sinker on the inner paint. It's 0-1. Cleveland leads Philly 4-0, so that's good news in Cleveland. The 0-1, swing and a miss. Sweeper. It's 0-2. 0-2 count. Bummer drops a curveball down below the knees. 1-2. Definitely a ball, but that was right there in that same area, same pitch, curveball, same area where they started off Olsen with the strike. The 1-2, curveball down and in, strike 3. O'Neal Cruz bid on that one. He knew it. He tossed his bat, slammed his batting helmet, not happy with himself. But his team leads 3-0. We'll see if we can pull off a miracle in the late innings one more time.
And that's a double-edged sword. It's kind of like watching your mother-in-law go off a cliff in a Cadillac. You got mixed feelings.
Now Ricky Henderson. And with Ricky Henderson, don't look away for that first pitch, because Ricky looking for a fastball right away to park in the stands in left field. He's done it more often than any player in history. All the years, if you think of Ricky, you think of the steals, but he's an all-round leadoff man. And there it goes. Number 76. He adds to his record. And that was a no doubt about it home run. Truly a big fly for Ricky Henderson, the 76th time in his career that he has, as the first batter in the lineup, led off the game with a home run.
My favorite number that's not 3 and 8 or 88 now, my favorite numbers were like 51, 47, 55, 57. And I'm like, man, we gotta go with something with an 8, and that was everybody else's opinion too. I was thinking 28. 28's it. I wanted 28. Let's be 28. And Texaco said hard no.
Armchair.
Brooklyn rarely rose above 6th place. Even their diehard fans called the Dodgers Dem Bums.
The Dem Bums became the Dodgers. That was the big name for them. Our bums, our beloved bums. But the term when it was first used, was pejorative. In the 20s and 30s, people in Brooklyn needed the Dodgers to win, and they'd go out to the ball game, and the Dodgers would lose, and they'd lose stupidly and carelessly and dumbly, and people would come out of Ebbets Field saying, them bums, those lousy bums, they lost again. How'd those bums do today? And it wasn't until they started to win that the nickname became an admirable nickname. It became capitalized.
Dennis Santana, the closer for the Pirates, comes in. First pitch, 96 miles an hour, high and tight. Eli White, it's 1-0. Limit that screen for you for a second. 1-0. Slider outside. Does not go. 2-0. Once again, it'll be Eli, Smurf, and Harris. If anybody gets on, Alex Verdugo will bat fourth in the inning. The 2-0 from Santana. Swing, lifts it into center field. That's going to get down where the green grass grows. Eli White is flying around the bases. He's got a long way to go, and he's got himself a leadoff triple. The Atlanta Braves. In the book of Eli, who once again, I've been saying this all night long, should have been hitting leadoff, leads us off with the triple. Hard hit ball. The disrespect that he gets from Snicker and company is unbelievable. Remember the other night when they benched Eli and put Rosario in, which was on a pinch hitting role, and the game on the line. That was the game that the Braves lost in the Cincinnati series. So a leadoff triple for the Braves. Are they challenging this? It looks like they're challenging this to see if Eli came off the base. It might be one of those deals where they're just challenging it because they have a challenge, and what the hell, why not? Trying to see, I mean, he beat that play by a million miles. Came up. They're trying to check to see if his leg came all the way up when did he come off the bag? Is that what? His foot is still sitting on the base. Yeah, he's on the base. What the hell are they looking at? His foot stays on the base the entire time. His leg comes up, but his foot is hooked to the base. They call this, they're just looking for something. Because there's no angle that shows a definitive him coming off the bag. You might be able to slide an envelope between his shin and the bag, but there's not, I just don't see a look, and they shouldn't be taking this long to do it anyways. Here comes the call from New York, and they are going to call him safe. I really think that might have been just Don Kelly hoping to get, because that would be a gut punch to finally get something going. He gets called out because he comes off the bag. And I the spirit of the rule, I don't like that play anyways. I don't care which side you're on. I don't like the spirit of the rule. If you beat the throw and you pretty much stay on the bag, the guy should be safe. First pitch on the way is a changeup, swing and a miss to Murph. It's 0-1. Same thing with like stolen bases where they'll try to overturn it because a fingernail came off. I don't like the spirit of that rule. The 0-1, down and away, 1-1. For a couple hundred years, that was never the spirit of the rule in baseball. It was did you beat the play? If you beat the play, you're safe. And then they come up with instant replay and HD and whatnot, and they try to pick apart everything frame by frame. The 1-1 to Murphy, he'll chop it over to third, give that a bat away. 5-3 put out, 1 down. Michael Harris II will come to the plate. Verdugo will move into the on-deck circle. First pitch to Michael. Four-seam fastball high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. Sean Murphy was hot when he first came off the IL, and they have tried to pigeonhole him into the middle of the lineup ever since. The 1-0. Looper towards center field. Should be an easy catch for O'Neal Cruz. They'll send Eli White home. He will score, but the Braves have recorded their second out and trail by 2. Alex Verdugo will now come to the plate. That was a jam shot on the inside to Harris. And on a 1-0 count where you need base runners, you don't swing that far inside off the plate. Two down. Verdugo came off the bench to pinch hit last inning. First pitch on the way, 94, right down the pipe. It's 0-1. Last chance for the Braves, Verdugo. Then after that, you got Nick Allen. The 0-1. Snapping slider at the knees. It's 0-2. Braves down to their last strike. The 0-2. 95 misses well out of the zone, 1-2. Same two teams tomorrow. 4:05 first pitch. A.J. Smith-Shawver on the mound. They've brought Drake Baldwin onto the on-deck circle, so he'll pinch hit for Allen if Verdugo can get on. Joey Bart's going out to the mound to talk to Santana on what he wants to do here. So if Verdugo can get on, Drake would come to the plate representing the tying run. The 1-2 to Verdugo. Santana kicks and fires. Swing. That ball's laced into center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. So it ain't over yet.
What's going on? Blood pressure's coming up. The pulse is getting stronger. Get the OR ready. We've got a live one going and we want him to stay that way.
Hit that ball in the screws to center field. And Drake Baldwin, who's ice cold, will come off the bench, but gives the Braves a chance. He had the walk-off hit last night. Not what you would call a power hitter, but he does have a touch more power than Nick Allen, and you get the righty-lefty matchup as opposed to the righty-righty. Just trying to keep the line moving. Ozzie Albies steps on to the on-deck circle. Austin Riley's in the hole. First pitch to Drake. Inside, 94 up top. It's 0-1. Verdugo will move to second on defensive indifference. So a base hit would most likely make it a one-run game. The 0-1. 93, misses high, 1-1. What's incredibly difficult for Drake on all of these, as you can imagine him being a rookie, he's never seen any of these guys pitch. So he's trying to do a cram session in the dugout, trying to figure out what each guy has. The 1-1, outside wide, 2-1. Two 2-1 count. Righty-lefty matchup. Santana lifts his glove. Brings it. Swing, pops it up. Back out of play over the third base side. The deuce is wild now. The Braves trail by 2. A 2-2 count. 2 outs. Runner at second. Santana set to deliver. Here it comes. Ping, hammer, down the right field line. That is going to score a run. And the Braves have cut this to a 1-run lead. The Drake comes through again.
You don't like the Drake?
I love the Drake.
How could you not like the Drake?
Who's the Drake?
The Drake is good.
They're going to pinch run the Drake, probably with Luke Williams. I haven't seen the official announcement yet. Remember, Luke Williams came up today after DFAing Rosario, and he will represent the tying run. Double check that, make sure that's what they did. Waiting for the official announcement. Baldwin headed to the dugout, and I do believe it is Luke Williams. So Luke Williams stands at first. And now they're out there talking to Santana, because now you can't just give up the base. Because if you give up the base, you're getting the tying run to scoring position. So that changes a lot right there, obviously. Braves trail at 3-2. Trying to find a way to get back in this. As Ozzie Albies stands at the plate. First pitch to the Wiz is in the dirt. It's at 1-0. And Luke Williams steals that base with ease. Good night, Irene. He took off like he was shot out of a cannon. I thought they were going to try to hold him off a little bit. You would have thought he was brought out of a slingshot, the 1-0. Down and in, 2-0. Austin Riley stands on deck. Braves trail by 1. Luke Williams represents the tying run. 2 outs, but the game right now is at the plate. The 2-0 to Oz. Swing and a miss. Chase a slider down and in. It's 2-1. He stole that with such ease. I almost think he should go down there and just grab third base. It's not going to make a ton of difference, but you could get the pitcher to thinking, man, I better not screw up. Throw a wild pitch. The 2-1. Swing, chops it off his instep. 2-2. Ozzie Albies will try to walk it off a little bit. Looked like he got the inner part of his... Is that his knee or his foot? I think he's okay. He's kind of walking it off. Trainer's coming out there to talk to him. See, where'd it get him? I think it got him on the ankle. You might see him take the day off tomorrow. I think he's going to be okay, but remember, Eli White can play second base, and so can Luke Williams. Take another look at this, take a double check and see where it actually hit him at. Oh, no, it was his left knee, and then shot off to his ankle. So that's why it's barking. Just above his knee. But nonetheless, that's got to hurt. The 2-2 to Ozzie. Swing, lifts it into center field, and that'll end the game. Ozzie goes 0 for 5 from the leadoff position, and the Braves lose another tough one, 3-2. They did show some life in the 9th and score, but the bottom line is you can't wait till the 9th inning to start scoring runs. Braves will now fall back to 2 games under 500, try to get back to the drawing board tomorrow. A.J. Smith-Shawver on the mound, and if he can win that one, Chris Sale could get us to 500 on Sunday. Tough game. Bryce Elder didn't pitch a terrible game, but the offense did not show up until the 9th inning. Braves lose it 3-2. Here's your post-game show tonight. That sucked. I'll see you tomorrow, 3:30. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with one inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first, and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer curled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. Kill him! Kill the umpire! Shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball. And now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner.